Hey guys, trying this whole Georgia war thing again. Hopefully, I won't have the same issues I'd been having before with lag, but we will see, I suppose. Let's get my track IR set up here. Already bombed up and ready to go. Just got to start the aircraft. I've also got to try and remember I've rebound my push-to-talk in SRS. Just so it doesn't conflict with the wing sweep control for the Tomcat when it comes out, because I was using push-forward on my thumb hat on the throttle, which is not going to work since that, I believe, is bomb mode, I think, on the F-14. So I've gone ahead and rebound it, which will hopefully avoid any conflicts there. Let's make sure I am actually on SRS. Get the radio overlay going.
Overlord, Colt, 1-2.
I also can't remember what the frequencies were on this server, so I'm probably going to have to look them up again.
Colt, 1-2. Overlord, Bra, 130-460 at 35,000 knots.
Should have checked that before I started the stream, but you know, that would be being prepared, which I don't do. 249 and 253.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 127 for 150 at 30,000 knots.
Bravo.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 141 for 90 at 35,000 knots.
The other one, 253, I
Springfield
think?
2-1, Overlord, Bra, 128 for 140 at 30,000 knots.
Just double check real fast. Yep, 253, okay.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 149 for 130 at 7,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 111 for 150 at 10,000 flanking.
Okay, so
Springfield
I should
2-1,
be
Overlord, Bra,
over here at
118 for 190 at 25,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 135 for 90 at 35,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 137 for 130 at 29,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 143 for 80 at 35,000 flanking.
Mic up traffic, Circus 14 taxis.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 130 for 140 at 30,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 118 for 180 at 25,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 131 for 130 at 30,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 144 for 80 at 30,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 112 for 150 at 9,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 135 for 90 at 35,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 139 for 130 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 152 for 120 at 5,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 151 for 120 at 2,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 138 for 130 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 143 for 170 at 500, cold.
Having a real pig at a time trying to find a center detent on my right post.
136 for 80 at 29,000, flanking.
I also went ahead and attempted to calibrate them, but I think I may have messed it up and set them slightly off center because the aircraft seems to be trying to pull to the left, which I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be trying to do because both the engines are at the same amount of power.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 119 for
We'll see if it's an
170
issue in
at
flight.
25,000 knots.
Michael traffic set this
Springfield
one
2-1,
for
Overlord,
entering
Bra,
riding observation.
137 for 90 at 17,000, flanking.
Springfield 2-1, Konskaya, you are cleared for takeoff when ready.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 138 for 120 at 28,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 138 for 120 at 29,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 149 for 130 at 7,000, cold.
Michael traffic, Circus 14 rolls 0.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 112 for 160 at 7,000, cold.
Got to remember that
Springfield
the
2-1,
HUD displays in
Bra,
Imperial
120 for 170 at 25,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 138 for 110 at 28,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 141 for 120 at 28,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 140 for 110 at 17,000, flanking.
Okay, I should have the SAU set up now, so I'm going to go ahead and try and level the aircraft off. Which appears to be working, and then switch radio frequencies. It's pretty quiet on the server at the moment, so there's not going to be a whole lot of chatter, so I can actually just keep a listening watch on the ATC, but I'm going to switch over to... okay, well that's interesting. The SAU's not engaging. Why is it not engaging? It should be. Let me just go ahead and check my control bindings for a moment. So I'm pretty sure I set this up. Yeah.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 112 for 150 at 5,000, cold.
Okay. So that's not working, so we'll try... Ah, right.
Springfield
So I want to
2-1,
rebind
Overlord,
that.
Bra, 101 for 170 at 7,000
Hello,
knots.
it's evening here, so Good morning wherever you are, good evening here. Just gotta quickly rebind that in all the MiG-29s before I forget, because that is going to be a bit of a pain otherwise. So I will clear that, and I will rebind that to this. Okay, that one's already bound. This one. There we go.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 159-490 at 16,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 101-4-160 at 7,000, hot.
So
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 112-4-160
the autopilot buttons
at
are, or the
4,500,
autopilot bindings are much different in the MiG-29 than the Su-27, which I did not expect. I thought they'd be basically the same.
Springfield 2-1,
So I'm gonna
Overlord, Bra,
have to check that out.
127-4-120 at 25,000, hot.
Do some control tweaking.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 163-490 at 16,000.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 167-480 at 16,000, flanking.
Now, because I'm in a MiG-29, I don't have the data link, which I've been getting quite accustomed to in the Su-27. There are Su-27 slots on the Georgia War server, but they're all donator slots. Us plebs are stuck with the 29, which isn't really a bad thing, although the issue I do have is there's the 29G. So it's slightly confusing because the HUD is in imperial units, so in knots and feet. The actual instrumentation in the cockpit is all in metric because it's they didn't convert any of the actual analog gauges when they altered the aircraft. So this is the variant that the Germans had after reunification. And it seems to be wanting to roll a little. I suspect my rudder is not quite sitting in its center detail.
Backup traffic port 11 is inbound to land runway 02 on lift base for finals.
That or I bumped the aileron trim while I was trying to trim the thing out. I may have actually forgot to rebind the trim hat side, like lateral motion from the rudder to the aileron on this variant. I'll have to double check that as well. See, I haven't flown the MiG-29 for a while, so my controls are all a bit messed up.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 174-450 at 22,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 174-445 at 21,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 174-445 at 21,000, hot.
Now, there is a way to be sneaky using the electro-optical sensors and vertical scan. I don't know how to do it, and I'm probably too far away. So I'm going to go into BVR and just switch the radar on. And I'm being jammed, wouldn't you know it? Go ahead and try lock that guy. I know the range is going to be off because he's jamming me, and the way that jamming works in DCS is range gating. I'm also going to have to check with AWACS to make sure that is enemy, because jamming really messes with the IFF in the Soviet aircraft. And I'm not going to get a response apparently. I will check the F10 map just to make sure it's not a player on my team, but I don't expect it will be. Oh, okay, or DCS could crash, I suppose. That works as well. Interesting. Please bear with me while I sort this out. I'm going to have to restart the game. So I've gone from lag issues on Georgia at War to it crashing my game. Which is interesting. I do have issues with DCS dropping connection a lot, but it doesn't crash very often. So when it does, it makes me wonder whether it's something wrong with my game or if it's the actual mission file. Now, I think if the server restarts while you're on it, it can crash the game. Although I don't recall seeing any notices that it was about to restart, so I don't think it was that. But while I'm back in the main menu, I may as well check my controls. Yeah, okay, so that's still bound to rudder trim, so I need to get rid of that. Right wing down, and then left wing down. And I also need to go to this. Get rid of that, and then rebind that to reset. And I'm going to have to do this for all 3 MiG-29s, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. So that's the button below, or the binding below. And then, yeah, it's still, no, okay, so for the MiG-29S, my trim's bound properly. That's good to know. But it won't be for this. Okay, that should do it, hopefully. So I will see if I can get back into Georgia at War without any further issues. I was hoping to do some MiG-21 vs F5 stuff on DDCS or the Cold War server, but they're both empty at the moment, unfortunately. The time zone I'm in isn't a real good one if you want to play with people in the US or Europe. It's 7:15 in the evening here at the moment, and I think it's going to be about early morning in the US, like real early morning in the US, if it's morning over there in the UK. So yeah, not a great time zone. Everyone else is awake, like during the morning for me. And I'm not much of a morning person, unfortunately. Gonna have to reconnect to SRS as well, because if the game crashes, it tends to break SRS. What should be really interesting is once the MiG-19 hits, I think the DDCS and Cold War servers are going to get very interesting. Because I was watching a video earlier from Growling Sidewinder, and he did a dogfight in the MiG-19 against a Mirage. Obviously the Mirage wasn't carrying missiles, otherwise he would have lost straight off, but it seems the MiG-19 can hold its own pretty well against a Mirage, so I expect it to be pretty good against the F5 as well, and you wouldn't have the same issues that the MiG-21 has, where you bleed all your energy the moment you try and pull a tight turn. The MiG-21 can pull very tight turns, but it can't sustain them. So the 19 should be much better for actually mixing it up with the F5, whereas the 21's going to just be, you know, pretty much doing what it's already better at, which is working the vertical and just boom and zoom passes. With perhaps the odd high alpha snapshot where it gets an opportunity. But with restricted missiles on that server, you're working with R13 M1s, which are rear aspect anyway, so they're not very good. And the F5 is working with, I think, GAR-8s, which are the Air Force version of the AIM-9B, and they are terrible. They're very difficult to actually get to track and hit a target. So the MiG-19, even though it won't fare well against modern missiles, should be alright against F5s with GAR-8s. And then once it gets close enough to them, it should be able to handle them pretty well in a gunfight. So I'm probably going to be flying the MiG-19 quite a lot on the Cold War servers, I would think, once I figure out how to use it. Seems a pretty simple aircraft, at least. Okay, let's see. I want Springfield. What was Springfield? Yeah, Springfield 2 from my cop. Now I'm going to set up the radio again. So it's 249.5.
Right.
That's the AWIS. So AWIS is 249, and then 249.5 is your ATC, and then 253 is the air general frequency, but nobody seems to be on it at the moment because the server's pretty quiet. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing loaded up. Swap those for R27 ERs.
Request rearming.
There we go.
Copy. Unable to comply.
Oh, of course, because I started the engine. I forgot about that. Gotta wait for them to fully arm the aircraft before I can start
Request
it,
rearming.
which is a bit annoying.
Copy.
Okay, looks like my nose wheel steering's on.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 135-4100 at 20,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 187-440 at 15,000, flanking.
Rearming complete.
There we go.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 145-140 at 7,000, cold. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 094-140 at 7,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 135-110 at 12,000, cold. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 183-440 at 15,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 118-170 at 19,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 141-170 at 7,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 145 for 150 at 5,000, cold.
Just gotta wait for the engine to run up and the control damper to come on. And that reddish-orange warning lamp will go out when that happens, and then I'm good to go. So while I've got it running, I'll just check my controls. Those look good. Engine's up to speed. My cop traffic, Circus 14 taxi 04. My cop. Can't work out if my nose wheel steering is on or off. Oh, I have to hold it. I see. I see. Okay, that makes sense. That's going to be a pain because I don't know what I'm going to bind to that. That is going to be a real pain. Actually, I think I do know what I'm going to bind to that, so just give me a moment. Again, I'm going to have to do this for all of the MiG-29s.
411, taxi 04, Michael.
Steering.
Springfield 2-1,
Okay.
Overlord, Bra, 148 for 190 at 16,000 hot.
Okay, I have to actually
Springfield
go search.
2-1, Overlord, Bra, 148 for 190 at 16,000 hot.
Oh, that was already being used for trim
Springfield
reset.
2-1,
Whatever.
Overlord, Bra,
It's fine.
109 for 180 at 7,000 flanking.
I don't really use my trim reset that much anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that's already bound. It's the MiG-29A that I need to rebind it on. Okay, that should do. There we go. Yeah, wow, look at that. Suddenly it handles much better on the ground. Who would have thought?
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 143 for 150 at 7,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 147 for 180 at 21,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 109 for 180 at 7,000 flanking.
Just gotta watch my taxi speed. I came into that turn a bit fast. Don't want to stand this
Springfield
thing on its
2-1,
wing.
Overlord, Bra,
wouldn't be very good.
114 for 170 at 13,000 flanking.
Now, for the most part, you can actually taxi it without using the nose wheel steering. It's just
144
for particularly sharp
150 at
corners,
7,000
like
hot.
this, where you want to use it to avoid overshooting.
Cross the door traffic, shooter taxiing to runway 04.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 144 for 180
There's a Harrier
at
behind me.
25,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 143 for 180 at 25,000 flanking.
My cop traffic, Circus 14, entering, lining up, 04. My cop. Okay, so the nose wheel steering also seems to disable above a certain speed, which is interesting.
Backup traffic 411 is holding short, runway 04, waiting for the departing leg.
109 for 190
Okay,
at
flaps are
30,000
set.
flanking.
We'll look for about 220 knots, I think it is. 190 will do. So we'll come up, get the gear up, get the flaps up. Mic up traffic circus 14, clear all runways and departing east. Mic up. Okay, I'm up to a good speed, so I'm going to come out of
Mic up
burner.
traffic 411 is rolling runway 04.
And hit the SAU to level the wings, get my radio set back up.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 144 for 170
Try not to
at
stamp on the rudder pedals as I do so.
17,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 146 for 170 at 28,000 knots.
There's a few people on, but not all that many.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 108 for 160 at 20,000 knots.
Mic up traffic 411 is
Springfield
cleared the
2-1,
runway
Overlord,
departing to the
Bra
southeast.
111 for
Something
180 at 30,000
Seems
knots.
off about my rudder pedals. And I think it might be because I tried to calibrate them the other day.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 146 for 160 at 16,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 153 for 130 at 7,000 knots.
Weird. Very weird.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 147 for 160 at 20,000 knots.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope.
At Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 156 for 120 at 7,000 knots.
56120.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 149 for 150 at 20,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 148 for 150 at 8,000 flanking.
Plane's porpoising a bit, I'm
Springfield
trying to get it to
2-1,
just hold
Overlord,
level.
Bra
Didn't seem to
155
want
for
to for a little bit.
120 at 20,000 flanking.
120, he's quite a ways out. So if I go to my own aircraft here, and this is about where my game crashed last time. 155.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 147 for 130 at 9,000
So
knots.
he's probably coming out of Sanaki. or he's hanging around Sanaki. We do have friendlies. Pair of F-15s at Sukhumi, which probably would have been a better place for me to spawn, but I don't think there's any MiG-29 spawns down there. The only MiG-29 spawns I know of at the moment are at Krasnodar and Maikop, which are a long way from the action, which is not really what you want in a MiG-29 because it's so short-legged. So what I might end up doing, if the action is mostly around this area where it seems to be at the moment, I will probably end up trying to base out of Sukhumi. So whenever I need to refuel, I'll just head there and land and refuel and rearm and so on. Nothing on radar at the moment, which isn't really a surprise, we're pretty far out. Main thing is just to make sure I don't overfly any enemy SAM sites, but at the moment the only thing that's painting us is to the rear, probably friendly. The aircraft seems to be really jittery at the moment. I'm not entirely
traffic,
sure why.
shooter takeoff, runway 04, heavy.
I'm going to disengage the SAU now, so I don't fly myself into a mountainside. Check in with AWACS again.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, clean.
Interesting. So this might end up being more or less a ferry flight down to
Springfield
Sukhumi.
2-1, Overlord,
Depends on what
Bra
pops up.
152, 4100
how
at
much fuel I have when it does.
16,000, flanking.
Trying to trim the ailerons on this is a nightmare. Goes too far one way or too far the other. There's no point where it's
Springfield
just right.
2-1, Overlord, Bra 159, 490 at 9,000, flanking.
It's like the belly
This
tank is
guy,
empty, so I'm
traffic,
going to get rid of
shooter
it.
outbound will push 253 off the takeoff, bye.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 153, 490 at 14,000, flanking.
Should probably actually look up what the keyboard binding for trim reset is, but because I think I'm going to need it here. Flight controls. Trim reset, left control T. There we go. So now I just got to trim the nose up to level the aircraft out, or try to. And it looks like the aileron should be good. I must have just kind of bumped it one way or the other. That's the thing I hate about digital trim, using a trim hat. Both in real life and in Sims, it's really easy to just kind of nick it one way or the other without noticing. And when you do need to do some fine trim, you never have the fidelity you need. It's just not there. So while it might be more of a pain to have to crank a trim wheel on the side of the cockpit, or the Jabiru, which I used to fly, which is what I first learned to fly on, had a lever basically, which was sort of in the center console, and what that would do was it would kind of tension the elevator cables one way or the other. Either tension, like put more tension on them to trim nose up, or slacken them to trim nose down. that kind of arrangement suits me better than a digital hat, to be honest. The Bristol, which is the aircraft I moved on to flying, has a pitch trimmer with a trim hat, and it's the same problem as I have in this. It's either too much or not enough. It's difficult to... Like, it has a little light bar to show you where exactly the pitch trim is sitting, but it's still... I don't know, I have, like, some kind of brain problem when it comes to processing digital displays. So for me it's easy to have a physical control there that I can tell exactly where the aircraft's trimmed at, and I can feel where it's trimmed at. Whereas with a little sort of digital thumb switch, it's just, I don't like it. The less feel I have of the aircraft, if it makes sense, the more difficult it is for me to fly well, which is why I kind of gravitate towards World War I and II sims. You get a lot of feedback from the aircraft in those, and having a force feedback stick at the time when I used to play them a lot was really good as well. I really miss having the feedback through the stick, which isn't as much use in the fly-by-wire, in the modern sort of fly-by-wire aircraft, if I can speak properly today. But in the older aircraft, like the MiG-29, which is still manual control, it's just hydraulically boosted, or the MiG-21, or the F-14, or any of those, it just strikes me as being a good idea to have the physical feedback. The F-14 especially, you're going to want to have something like that, or one of those arse kickers that like rattles your seat. Because sometimes, like, the game does simulate vibration in the cockpit and so on, and you have sound cues and things like that, but
Overlord,
you won't notice the visual
Springfield
cues
2-1.
if you're looking
Request bogey dope.
out the top of the canopy or something, which is a lot of the trouble I have with the
Springfield
MiG-21 in close
Overlord,
combat.
clean.
I'm going to go ahead and flip my radar on for a second again, because I don't quite trust that. The last reports I had of enemy were off my nose and relatively close. So I want to keep an eye on that. Still getting nails to my rear, which is friendly AWACS by the looks of it. I'm about 2300 fuel, so I'm going to need to think about landing soon-ish. Interesting, I have disappeared from the map.
Springfield 2-1.
Oh no,
Overlord,
here I am.
Bra,
Wow.
069
Okay.
for 120 at 7,000
I'm a lot
knots.
further west than I thought I'd be, but I guess that makes sense. So Sukhumi is right here, so what I might do is, instead of going for these guys who are quite far out, I will
Overlord,
go land at
Springfield
Sukhumi
2-1.
and
Request
refuel,
bogey dope.
and then put myself up into the thick of it,
Springfield
wherever that may
2-1.
be.
Overlord, Bra, 068 for 120 at
Because the nearest
7,000
contact that's being
knots.
called by AWACS is 120 miles out, which I just don't have the fuel for at the moment. And I'm going to get some more practice landing the MiG-29. And I can't remember any of the landing speeds in Imperial, which should be fun. Sukhumi traffic, wrong button. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 14, currently 15 miles to the northeast of the aerodrome. At 8,000 feet, we'll be coming in to join a downwind for 12 Sukhumi. So I'm going to come off the power now, so I can try and bleed some of this airspeed. I have already dropped my belly tank, so I do have functioning air brakes, but I'm not going to have functioning air brakes as soon as the gear and flaps are down. The airfield itself should be just off the right there. I will probably be best off if I put my nav lights on so people can actually see me. Interesting. And now nothing. I think that might have been a buddy, but I'm not certain. Actually, no, that's quite far out. should be okay. If he does fire, he's quite far away, judging by the signal strength, so I should be good. And in the meantime,
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 062,
I've got to make sure I can actually see the aerodrome,
7,000 hot.
which I suspect I've overshot, actually.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 130-460 at 1,500 hot.
Nope, there it is, okay. Sukhumi
Springfield
traffic,
2-1,
circus
Overlord,
14.
Bra,
Change of intention, join up base.
157-470
Left
at
base.
7,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 128-460 at 1,500 hot.
Okay, so I think
Springfield
280-ish
2-1,
knots is
Overlord,
probably my
Bra,
approach speed.
156-470 at
Go ahead and
7,000
swap to
flanking.
the landing HUD to make things a little less
Springfield
complicated.
2-1, Overlord, Bra,
Some nose up
155-470
trim.
at 10,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 062-120
Sukhumi
at
traffic,
7,000 flanking.
Final 1-2, Sukhumi.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Okay, I'm
Bra,
pretty slow, so I can put my
104-130
Fahrwerk
at
ausgefahren.
27,000.
Fahrwerk
down now.
ausgefahren.
And
Fahrwerk
then just try and
ausgefahren.
nurse my speed. I did have quite a lot of trouble when I first started landing the MiG-29, which hopefully will not be a recurring issue here. Probably still a little faster than I should be. And I'm coming in at a pretty bad
Springfield
angle.
2-1, Overlord, Bra, 105-130 at 35,000
The main thing I found in the MiG-29 is just to hold the nose off, because if you come down 3-point, you'll bounce really, really badly. Like so, but that wasn't the worst landing I've done, so... All the gear lights are still on, I didn't break anything. She was a little rough, but not rough enough to break the aircraft. Not going to bother using the chute, I don't need to. She wants to veer off the runway quite badly here.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 153-460 at 24,000 hot.
Sukhumi traffic, circus 14, clear all runways, Sukhumi. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to press. At all. What I wanted to press was Control L. And I missed and, again, hit right shift L.
164-450 at 40,000 hot.
And this is why we need full fidelity clickable cockpits.
Bra, 101,
It is so easy to miss the
110
keys.
at 30,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 097
Oh, the oversteer.
110 at 35,000 hot.
The MiG-29, especially when it's missing half its internal fuel load, is such a light aircraft and has such powerful engines that you just trickle on a little bit of power on the taxiway and suddenly you're just about airborne. It's kind of ridiculous.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra,
I'm gonna have to shut down anyway to get them to put the drop tank back on. So don't worry, the beeping will soon stop.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 156-460 at 29,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 168-440 at 40,000
But yeah, this is the place to be. All these contacts that are being called are much closer.
Springfield 2-1,
I've actually got the
Overlord,
range to
Bra,
do stuff here.
101-110 at 26,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 157-450 at 30,000 hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 171-440 at 40,000 hot.
Okay.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 098 for 100 at 27,000 knots.
Nope, it's still gonna...
Springfield
Okay,
2-1,
let me look
Overlord,
at what
Bra
the binding is to check
160
that.
450 at 30,000 knots.
Right shift N. Okay, there we go.
Shooter committing ground target vector 150.
Should probably also check what the Sork light is. Reset. Okay, there isn't a button for that apparently. Sork. Nope.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Springfield 2-1.
So this is my aircraft for the day.
091 490 at 29,000.
You can see there's still just enough residual hydraulic pressure in the lines that even with the engines off I can move the controls. But as I do so, it bleeds the pressure out and now they're stuck. So because they are hydraulically boosted, you are in trouble if you lose both engines. A lot of trouble. So those are now stuck like that. Those ailerons are stuck like that until I restart one of the engines, at which point the boost pumps will pick up and the flight controls will reset. Just waiting for them to refuel the aircraft now, which doesn't take very long because it doesn't have very many or very much fuel internally. Much unlike the Su-27, which takes about 10 minutes to fuel up because it has so much of the stuff. Now, looking on the F10 map, where is everybody? We've got a guy over here. That is an Su-25 on seed. There's a guy over here, which is a... Oh, another MiG-29 on cap. So there's two of us. Interesting. And there's a couple guys tooling around up here. So most of the enemy aircraft seem to be in the south-ish. So I should be a bit closer now, and I shouldn't have to burn the majority of my fuel just getting to the fight. Which is good. Don't want to do that. Okay, fuel is full. Looks like I'm ready to go. The belly tank is back on. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up the left engine. So the top left red warning lamp that just went out is a hydraulic failure. And the reason that was on is because with no engine power, I had no hydraulic, no hydraulic pumps running. So with no hydraulics, you have no boosters to the flight control surfaces, and without that, you are going to have a very bad day if the aircraft is airborne. The other red light is the control damper. That usually takes about a minute or so to warm up after you start the aircraft.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 196 426 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 244 423 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 075 4100 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 077 4100 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 127 445 at 1,500 knots.
Sukhumi Traffic Circus 1-4 taxis.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 045 120 at 16,000.
Shooter rolling in hot.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 119460 at 7,000.
Springfield 2-1, Sukhumi, clear to taxi to runway 30.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 044 for 120 at 12,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 044 for 120 at 9,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 071 for 100 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 073 for 100 at 35,000, flanking.
So, the short range
Springfield
is definitely
2-1, Overlord,
the MiG-29's
Bra,
biggest
042
downside.
for 120
You just don't have the
at
fuel
9,000,
to
flanking.
take off from one end of the map and engage on the other.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
You have enough
Bra,
to ferry from one side to the
042
other.
for
I mean, I still had about
120 at
2,000
9,000,
kilograms of
flanking.
fuel left. So, technically, I had enough to fly a little further
Springfield
and
2-1,
maybe try a
Overlord,
missile
Bra,
shot. But
119 450
because
at
I tend
7,000,
to play it a little too cavalier with fuel, and I've run out of fuel so many times in the MiG-21 doing the same thing, it's better to be safe than sorry, so landing at Sukhumi and refueling was probably the right move, even if it means it's going to take longer for me to get into the action. Okay, just make sure no one's on approach. Oh god, game just froze for a second there. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4 lining up, rolling 1-2, Sukhumi. Okay. What was trim reset? Alt-T, I think? Apparently not. Right Alt-T? No. Probably turning off shit that I need on.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 118 440 at 7,000.
Traffic on the 414, taxiing for the active runway.
Trim
Springfield
reset.
2-1,
Left control
Overlord,
T.
pop-up
Knew it was
group,
something T.
126 440 at 1,500, hot.
So we use that to center the stick and then put a little bit of back trim on.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 041 for 120 at 3,000, flanking.
And we want to come off the ground about 180, 190
Springfield
knots.
2-1, Overlord,
if the game doesn't
Bra,
freeze first.
038 for 120 at 7,000.
Bit bouncy. Bit bouncy. There we go. Probably need a
Springfield
little more back
2-1,
trim there.
Overlord, Bra, 055 for 100 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 057 for 100 at 28,000.
Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, clear all runways departing to the south.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 127 for 35 at 1,500, hot.
Switch myself over to the
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
or the
Bra,
air general
120
frequency.
for 30 at 7,000, hot.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope.
Of course, now AWACS doesn't want to talk to me.
Overlord,
We do have an
Springfield
enemy contact
2-1, request bogey dope.
Off the right of the nose. Still too weak to
Springfield
lock.
2-1,
That is definitely an
Overlord,
enemy
Bra,
return. Mid-sized
123
aircraft.
420 at 7,000,
One closer.
hot.
That is a fighter. If I can lock it. There we go. I'm not entirely certain why the Sork light is still flashing. Hopefully I didn't actually break anything that was landing
runway
on
23 left, immediate departure.
Okay, I want to get a little closer with the R27.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 057 for 110 at 10,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Looks like
Bra,
it's tracking
298 for 60 at 40,000, flanking.
It's diving. There's a second aircraft there.
Roger that. Transporting security forces to the target location.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, merged.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1.
Traffic cover 414, clear the active runway, pushing 25.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, contact
Another
is
enemy there.
hostile.
We'll give him an R73 because we're quite close.
Loaded for cap.
Splashed him.
Ash.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 20542 at 2000, flanking.
Okay, I think I popped both of them. We'll just double
Overlord,
check.
Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Nope.
Bra 26844 at 5000, cold.
Maybe the wreck that he's calling out. But we'll just make sure. Nope, okay. Looks like one of them survived that. So we will give him an R73. Okay, interesting. It didn't switch to the 73, so that was my second R27 I killed that
Springfield
first guy with.
2-1, Overlord, Bra
Don't know why it did that,
028
but
for 110
that's fine.
at 8000,
Looks like this
cold.
guy's running from me, so I can just close distance with him. I'll go into burner to
Springfield 2-1,
assist me in that
Overlord,
endeavor.
Bra 025 for 100
Trim
at
way nose
9000,
down.
hot.
so she doesn't climb under burner.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 056 for 110 at 3,500, cold.
Come out of burner.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 130 for 14
And that looks
at
like a splash to me.
1,500, hot.
Or maybe not. Is he seriously still up?
Springfield 2-1, Overlord.
Yes, he is. Interesting. Very interesting. Don't know what that guy's made out of, but it's obviously strong stuff. I don't want to waste 2 missiles on him, so I will lock him up and then switch to guns. Just try and get the aircraft to actually go where I want it to after all that nose down trim. Gotta close the range again. It's an SU-25, no wonder he wouldn't go down after 2 hits. It's kind of a ropey shot there, but I did get him at least.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
I feel like the aircraft's really
Springfield
fighting me
2-1,
here for some
Overlord,
reason. I'm
Bra
not sure why
319
exactly.
for 90 at 30,000, cold.
319 for 90, huh? I got the fuel to deal with that, although my belly tank is ready to get rid of. Just gotta try and level out the aircraft. There we go.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 314, 490 at 38,000, flanking.
Still got plenty of fuel, and this should take me over Sochi Adler, so if I run out
Overlord,
of fuel,
Bra
I can divert
042
that.
for 110 at 14,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 043 for 110 at 14,000, flanking.
So that's 2 kills there. That was probably a pair of SU-25s. One was an SU-25. I didn't see what the second guy was, but I'm guessing that they both were.
Springfield 2-1,
So now comes the fun
Overlord,
part, trying
Bra
to trim the
015
aircraft to
490
be
at
stable in the roll
7,000,
axis,
flanking.
with 2 missiles on one side and 1 on the other.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Group 150,
150
at
for 13.
1,500 hot.
Interesting.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 293, 450 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 310, 490 at 28,000, flanking.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, clean.
So there's something around here. Don't know what. I'll just do a bit of a slow turn, see if I can pick him up, whatever he is. I did think I saw something flash on the radar before, and that's probably what it was. Let's put some more G into this turn and watch those wings flex. There he is. Gotcha. Looks quite large. Down to R73s now, so I've got to get pretty close. Within about 3 to 5 kilometers, ideally, where he will not be able to escape them.
Infield 2,
I'm
defending
rolling up on this guy pretty fast.
093 for 60. Infield 2, Tally Bandit at bullseye 093 for 70 at 1,500.
Looks like a head-on shot. That is quite large. That looks like a transport. No, it's a helicopter. It's an Mi-26. And it looks like he's toast. Circle around to make sure, but I'd say he's going to go into the drink. There he goes. Track IR's misbehaving a little tonight. Right, so we're down to a pair of R73s now.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, clean.
Now would probably be as good a time as any to land and rearm. So I think that's what I'll do. And then I can go after whatever's left. Just playing it safe with the fuel. What plane is this? This is the MiG-29, but it's the German MiG-29. So it's got the wonderful attribute that the HUD is all in Imperial and the instrumentation is all in metric. And of course, flying the Soviet aircraft, I think in metric when I'm flying them. So I know all the speeds in metric but not Imperial. I think rotate is like 180 knots and landing is 150 or something, but that's about as close as I get. Yep, MiG-29G. Okay, we got a friendly up ahead. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, currently about 5 miles to the south of the aerodrome. We'll be coming in on a right base 1-2, Sukhumi. Probably turn my radar off, that would be a good idea, huh? Gotta work on my landings for this a touch, because the Su-27 is easier to land. Like, this aircraft's not hard to land as such, but if the nose wheel touches the ground at too high of a speed, it bounces like you would not believe. So that's where the chief difficulty in landing the MiG-29 comes from. So I punched away my belly tanks. I'm gonna... That's not right. So I'm gonna pop the air brake
008-470
while I still have use of it.
3,500 flanking.
Because the air brake goes away once the gear comes down, which is not a design feature I'm a fan of. Okay, I'll put that away. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, 3 mile final 1-2, Sukhumi. And she's handling weird. I think I fucked something up because the aircraft is really porpoising a lot, and it shouldn't be. Okay, I might actually pop the brake just a little longer. Something isn't quite right. I don't know. I'm also gonna pop my flaps out. She doesn't want to sink. Yeah, I was coming in too fast. I've got to get used to these fucking approach speeds in knots. Okay, we'll pull the air brake in, we'll drop the gear real fast, and oh Jesus. Back trim, not that much back trim. Something is up with the trimmer, I think. That's what's going on here. I'm just gonna come in, and this is a really long landing. If she floats too much, I'm going to have to go around, but
group 039-110 at 5,000 flanking.
Big bounce. Pop the chute. Okay, that's deployed. Don't land like that, by the way, guys. That was a fucking atrocious landing. It's probably the worst landing I've done in quite a while, but I don't know, something feels weird about this aircraft now, and the Sork light's on. I did have a hard landing. I think I may have broken something, but I don't know what.
Springfield 2-1, taxi to parking area.
It's flyable, it's just uncooperative. But none of the other warning lights... Oh wait, the Oh, the damper warning light's on. Interesting. That should not be on. That would certainly explain why it's seesawing, because the damper is what prevents it from going into pilot-induced oscillation. Or anything else induced oscillation, for that matter. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, clear all runway Sukhumi. Gotta get used to the nose wheel steering on this. So I figured out why the nose wheel steering in this didn't appear to work before. It's because you've actually got to hold the button. So in the MiG-29, you've got to hold the nose wheel steering in to use it. In the Su-27, you have to toggle it on and off. And when it's toggled off, you pretty much cannot steer the aircraft for love nor money. And in the MiG-21, obviously it doesn't have nose wheel steering, it's just differential braking. So, got to get used to the many flavours of steering in the game. I had assumed that the MiG-29 and the Su-27 would be much more alike than they are. They might look similar, but there's quite a few differences between them. Even just little things like that. Pretty sure that damper warning light should definitely... Oh, I know what I did. Let's see. Which key was it I pressed which turned my damper off? I bet that's what I did. I must have accidentally hit something while I was trying to reset the trim. I reckon that's what's happened. I have to double check and see if there's a bind to turn it on, because the actual... Like, it's not even blinking, the damper light is off.
036.
So I've turned it off somehow.
At 10,000, flanking.
Or I've damaged it in that first rough landing. Which, honestly, it wasn't even that hard of a landing. It shouldn't have broken anything. Anyone that was on the ground watching that last approach would have had a real good laugh. That must have looked ridiculous.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 061 for 110 at 7,000.
I really like
flanking.
this skin though. So, East German MiG-29.
Springfield 2-1.
I will say so far I haven't noticed any really bad lag. There's been a couple of points where the game's frozen for a second or two, which is normal anyway for me. But I haven't noticed any aircraft teleporting around or magically evading my missiles by phasing in and out of this physical plane of
Springfield
existence.
2-1, Overlord.
So that's a
Bra
plus.
011
But I think that might just be because the server's
4,000
pretty quiet at the
flanking.
moment. There's not many people on, so it's not under much strain. I think if more people come in, it will probably go back to its old laggy self. Okay, so I'll just do a bit of a turn around here.
Request refueling.
And while I'm waiting, I will
Request rearming.
check and see.
Unable to comply.
Oh, the engines aren't fully shut down. God damn it. The Flaming Cliffs 3 ground crew are so picky.
Request refueling.
Okay, now we'll check.
Request rearming.
Just controls, damper.
Copy.
Autopilot damper. But that's... See, what that is isn't the actual normal damper, that's the dampening mode, like the MiG-21 has, I think.
Springfield 2-1.
We'll try it, though.
Bra 041 for
Well, it won't matter while the engine's
at
off.
14,000 flanking.
Because the SAU should have a damper mode,
Springfield
which
2-1.
dampens your
Overlord.
control
Bra
inputs.
041 for 120.
And in the MiG-21 it does as well.
13,000 cold.
But in the MiG-21, it's like a significant effect on the controls. I'm pretty sure it is in this too, I think. I don't know. It might have been... I feel like it could actually be for when I hit the reset all button on the autopilot. But again, this is like... Because this thing's set up differently in the SU-27. In the SU-27, setting the SAU to altitude, barometric altitude hold will auto-level the aircraft. In this, it won't. I had to set it to
Springfield 2-1.
hold
Overlord.
H,
Bra 043 for 120.
which I can then
at
only break
13,000
with the
flanking.
total autopilot reset. The autopilot override doesn't do it.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord.
Which is
Bra
weird.
052 for 120.
While I'm on the ground,
at 7,000
I'm going to go ahead and
40.
reset my trim. Just so I don't suddenly
Springfield 2-1.
tail strike
Overlord.
and stall
Bra
and take
053
off.
for 120 at 7,000 flanking.
Get those last pair of missiles on.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord.
Rearming
Bra
complete.
There we
018
go.
for 70 at 4,000 flanking.
Okay, let's see what happens here. So I'm starting the left engine. Now the damper light usually stays on until both engines have been running for about 30 seconds or so, and then it goes out. So it will be interesting to see. Ah, okay. No. It was that. So that means every time I hit the total autopilot reset, I'm going to have to go back and turn the damper back on. This is where a clickable cockpit would be really handy, because I could just click the damper button instead of trying to remember some esoteric keybind, which only applies to this aircraft. Okay, so you want the damper on in the MiG-29, otherwise it behaves
Overlord,
a bit oddly.
047.
Understandable.
President Moskowski traffic, Uzi 41, taxiing for runway 23 left at Juliet via November Juliet.
On the other hand, in the MiG-21, I've never used the damper, because I don't think there's any reason to use it in the MiG-21. But this thing is so sensitive that if you don't use that, it's just going to porpoise around the sky like crazy. Well, actually I say that, if I got used to flying it without the damper, it probably wouldn't be an issue, but
Overlord, Bra 023
that's going to take time, which I do not have.
500 flanking.
Okay, start the right engine before I forget.
Chevy, defending Bandit at Bulls 0.
Hey look, another MiG-29. His isn't as pretty as mine though. His is from wrong Germany.
Splash. President Poshkovsky traffic, Uzi 41 holding short of runway 23 left. I have information to Charlie. I'm in left. President Poshkovsky traffic, Uzi 41 lining up on runway 23 left for
So here's the thing.
East departure.
This is the flaps panel, right? It's exactly the same as the MiG-21 and the MiG-19. Like, this flaps control panel in MiG fighters has not changed since probably about 1950-ish. And the first position is up, that position is takeoff, that position is landing. So the MiG-29 does have takeoff flaps, but there's not a binding in the Flaming Cliffs 3 MiG-29. So while this has a PFM, and there was a big rework to get the PFM into the aircraft, because it's not full fidelity and it's not clickable, you don't actually have the takeoff flaps function. You have up and
Springfield
landing.
2-1, Overlord.
So it can be a little more squirrely on takeoff than it really should be, because you're using full flaps. There's a few other things like that too, that they're functions that you would think would be bindable at least, but they're not. That's your parachute release button there. This is your radio panel. That's squelch. I think that's the radio compass. Well, that might just be radio. One of these is radio compass, the other one's radio. Okay. I'm good to go. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, taxis 1-2, Sukhumi.
President Poshkovsky traffic, Uzi 41 airborne.
Is anyone playing GCI? Nope. Lots of Hornets. Big surprise there. Looks like that other guy's taking off down there, so I assume he's not on SRS, or if he was, I wasn't paying attention.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 044 for 120 at 6,000
Springfield 2-1, Sukhumi, clear to taxi to runway 30.
There he goes. Wow, no burner takeoff. No burner takeoff. And this guy thinks he's a fighter pilot? Disgraceful. As if you would take off in mill power in a MiG-29. Come on, dude. What are you doing? Actually, to be fair, the way this thing needs like a ludicrous amount of trim when the burners are on, it does kind of make sense. But it's not as cool. And being a fighter pilot is all about looking cool. Oh, one of our Hornets got killed by a friendly linebacker. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Too bad for him the AI can't be kicked for team killing, huh? I'm just gonna have to bear in mind that the other MiG-29 is not using SRS if we're both going to be basing out of Sukhumi. Because I don't want to try and take off or land at the same time he's on the runway. That would not end well. And I do not need to do any pant washing today. Okay, I'll just slow down for a second here. Nobody on final, nobody on a base turn, nobody on that end. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, lining up and rolling 1-2 Sukhumi. Okay, flaps are set, trim is good, off we go. God, the way that nose just rockets up when you let go of the brakes is ridiculous. I love this plane. It's good fun. Put a bit more bat trim on for takeoff. Just gently come off the ground. Gear. Flaps. And away we go. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, clear all runways departing to the east to Sukhumi. Okay, I'll come out of burner. I've got enough speed up, I don't need to stay in it. And just quickly get the aircraft more or less level and change frequencies. I'm going to stay on ATC, sort of a listening watch, but I want to go primary to Air General, since I don't think anyone's on the AWACS channel.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 3-1. Overlord, monitoring 430 at 7,000 knots.
So we got targets nice and close.
CA1 is C41, left clear. Copy.
There we go. Two of them. It's a two-ship. Returns too weak to lock them so far.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, Bra.
Oh, I can see them off the nose. They're smoky, whatever they are.
7,000 knots.
Got one locked. Oop, lost him. Looks like he's being engaged by something.
Overlord, Bra. 128, 420 at 4,000 flanking.
Might have been hit by the other 29, or he might have been hit by air defense. I'm just going to break that lock. I think that might have been a friendly. It's hard to tell when they're mixed in like this. Yep, that's a friendly. That's probably that other 29, and there's the
Springfield
other enemy.
2-1. Overlord, Bra. 134, 418 at 6,000 flanking.
Gonna get in a bit closer. Just gonna unlock him again to see what's around. Ooh, that was maybe a mistake. There's the 29, there's this guy. Circus 1-4, Fox 1 by Sukhumi. Looks good. Other 29 went high, it looks like. He's foxed at him. I think he evaded mine, he evaded his. Nope. Someone splashed him. And down he goes. I splashed him, I think. Wait, no. He did. Because I think I already had 3 kills.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1.
I want to see some
Overlord,
reflex.
clean.
God, that's so awesome. I love that shit. It's the only big downside of the Su-27, other than how long it takes to refuel, is the wings are strong enough that they don't visibly flex. Unless you pull some absolutely stupid maneuver, but even then it's hard to tell. The MiG-29, boy, these wings are bendy as shit. I love them. Like Hornet level flex on this baby. Okay, getting nails off my left. There were enemy aircraft up there before, but that was also friendly, so I'll just check in with
Overlord,
AWACS again.
Springfield
And
2-1.
hit up the
Request
F10
bogey
map.
dope.
Could be enemy, there's no friendly
Springfield
showing.
2-1. Overlord, clean.
There is a Harrier up that way. And Nails is gone. I do still have a fair bit of fuel though.
Springfield 2-1.
Relatively
Overlord,
speaking.
Bra 061 for 110 at 35,000 flanking.
For 110. Getting Nails off the left again, but I'll go for this guy. Interesting. So he's got me locked from pretty far out.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, Bra 057 for 100 at 38,000 flanking.
Just take her up into a gentle climb. I would suspect this guy might be a MiG-31 to lock me from that far away. Possibly an Su-27, but he would be... Actually, no, he wouldn't have the range to lock me. That has to be a 31, I reckon. Or something of the sort. So, I still haven't even got him on the radar.
Splash 1 MiG-21.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Tracker is a little finicky tonight, unfortunately.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, Bra 049 for 90 at
My,
27,000.
Janky field repairs are not holding up so well. I need to actually glue the thing back together properly instead of just using blue tack. Also, the entire mount is loose now, because the thing that holds that together is popped loose. If they built these things out of metal, or if they just didn't design like structural weaknesses into them, they would last so much longer. I'm sure the idea is to get them to break every year or so, so you have to drop $50 for a new set. The camera's fine, that thing will last forever, but the actual headsets are just, ugh. And I can't find the hat clip, because I never used it, right? So I just stuck it in a box somewhere, and God knows which box it's in. Okay, I'm getting Nails off my right. That is
Overlord,
airborne.
Springfield 2-1. Request bogey
I'm
dope.
just going to kick the nose over and see if I can figure out what that
Springfield
is.
2-1. Overlord, Bra 052
Nope,
for
same guy.
90 at 8,000
Looks like he might be
flanking.
weaving back and forth and descending to my level. Descending below me, actually.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord,
Flanking.
Bra 071 for 100 at
Roger that.
20.
Transporting
Am I just boxed up here?
Springfield 2-1. Overlord,
That is
Bra
far enough out that I'm
84
pretty
for
certain those would be
120
MiG-31s.
at 25,000 flanking.
I can't think of any other aircraft that the opposition uses in Georgia at war that can actually lock an aircraft that far away. If they had Tomcats, maybe, but they don't. I will never get tired of the view flying over the mountains in this map. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Mount Elbrus over there. Very easy to tell apart from inside. Okay, this guy's still locked me, but he's launching at least.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Get off my nose. Co-out.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra.
Relatively strong rock
470 at 5,000. Flanking.
Nearest is 048 for 70.
Alright, I'm gonna take one over here on the left. He's going high. So I'll copy and following lead down low. Fox 3. Be advised, lead is destroyed and debris.
Looks like we have a possible pair of MiG-31s coming in from Vladikavkaz or somewhere in that direction.
Bra. 062 470 at 27,000. Flanking.
062 for
Springfield
70.
2-1. Overlord.
049.
049 460 at 4,500. Flanking.
Make sure I don't get launched on here. If I do, I can dive into the mountains. I got plenty of options.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra.
Currently running, trying to get some speed.
At 11,000. Hot.
Yeah, I'm out as well. I'm getting on the deck.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra.
I'm gonna head like 250 on the deck.
Overlord, Springfield
Going
2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra. 052 450 at 3,000. Flanking.
052 for 50. So I should start seeing him soon. Gonna get rid of the belly tank because it's empty. And while I'm flying towards this guy,
055 490
I need to start considering my options for a divert, just in case. So, Mozdok is
I need to stop
friendly, I
off for
believe.
some fuel here.
480 at 15,000. Hot.
If I can just select the damn airfield, thank you very much.
Springfield 2-1.
Okay, yeah, that's friendly.
Right off your wing. I'm gonna head up north, get some fuel at mineral water.
And Minvordi is also friendly. And hey, a guy that can obviously understand a little Russian.
056 445 at 25,000. Hot.
056 for 45. There he is! There he is.
Springfield 2-1.
Too
Overlord.
weak to lock, but that's a return, alright?
445
An airfield up
at
north,
3,000.
minor alley Voidy. Voidy? We can head to. Yeah, they're called mineral water.
Why not? That's what it means. Got him on electro-optical. Damn, that's a long way out. Okay, where am I firing towards, just so I can let these guys have a heads up? Mozdok. Circus 1-4, Fox 1 towards Mozdok. Hopefully that will have the range to get him. Just gotta watch I don't get fired on from the one that was to my east as well. That looks like a splash to me.
Overlord. Bra. 211 490 at 21,000. Flanking. Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra. 272
Yep.
130 at
He ain't having a
24,000.
very good day. Circus 1-4 splash 1.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Pop-up group 039 428 at 3,500. Flanking.
039
Overlord,
28.
Springfield 2-1. Request bogey
Mineral
dope.
water traffic. However, 404 is going to be coming in.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord. Bra. 217 490 at 24,000. Flanking.
Still a weak
Coming
return.
for short final runway 30.
There we go. Is that a con or is that smoke? I can't really tell.
Z3 taxi.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 209.
I think it might just be a con
at
shadowing because of
25,000 knots.
the sunset.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 222 for 100 at 25,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 272 for 140 at 24,000 knots.
Circus 14 Fox.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 093 for 8 at 20,000
Where I
knots.
will be in a moment.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra
Oh, you ever said that
272 for
is mineral
140 at 24,000 knots.
I'm taking runway 30
Pop.
for mineral water.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Sure,
merge.
final.
Splash.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 230 for 100 at 29,000, flanking.
Center traffic, Z3 lining up 27.
Okay, whereabouts am I? I'll go for Minvordy, I think. There we go. 5 kills this session. Haven't died yet, although some of those landings are a bit ropey. So I think 2 Su-25s. What was the third guy? Wait. Third guy was an Mi-26. So 2 25s, Mi-26, and then I suspect those were MiG-31s, but I'm not certain. Whoa! Where the fuck did that come from? Mid-range SAMs.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 231 for 110 at 30,000, flanking.
Oh shit, it's right there. Circus 1-4 defending enemy SAMs to the southeast of Minvordy. Fuck!
We're pulling for mineral water traffic, clear the active.
I jinxed myself. Absolutely jinxed myself. Alright. Know what time it is? It is, as soon as I can find one that's a little closer to the action. I think 21 to be good. They're all at Krasnodar, which is way back behind the lines. So I think I'm going to need to do the same thing again here and do a ferry flight down to Sukhumi or thereabouts, or Mycop. Just because of the distance involved, and why am I looking out the right side of the... I have centered my track IR. Why am I looking to the right? That's not... What is going on here? Okay, let's try selecting a different MiG-21, because that seems to be bugged. Where was the other one? I did see one down here as well. Pontiac 3. No. Why? Why do you do this to me, DCS? That is really irritating. Just trying to figure out what could be doing that. View. Cockpit. Center camera view. Right shift, numpad 4. Or sorry, numpad 5. Right. Right shift, numpad 5. That's not going to work because I've got my track IR on. If it's not one thing, it's another. I don't know what has bugged that out. We'll try an external view. No, my pilot wants to always look right. Obviously, came from a career of flying Thunderbird 2 before flying MiG-21s. So if that's going to happen, I'm just going to switch back to the MiG-29. And I'm going to have to figure out what's causing that later off stream. It may be yet another one of those magical, mystical DCS issues that manifests itself for no reason, or it might just be a server-side bug, I'm not sure. Last time I was on this server, the MiG-21 worked fine though, and last time I flew the MiG-21, which was the day before yesterday, it also worked fine. So, God knows what's caused this, but I can't fly like that. My neck is already sore enough without constantly looking to one side, just to offset the, that. So I'll swarm back in at my... There we go. See, it centers in this. That is really irritating. I wanted to get some MiG-21 in. And I did notice as well that the clear canopy textures aren't working. I might have to redo them, which is annoying. I did finally cave in and get them, so not much good to me anyway because they're not working at the moment, at least not with my custom cockpit. They might with the default, I don't know. Haven't tested it yet.
Request rearming.
Copy.
Don't know if you guys can see it on the stream, but the aircraft rocks ever so slightly on its wheel suspension every time a missile's added. It's kind of cool.
Rearming complete.
Okay, close the lid.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 144, 100 at 38,000, flanking.
Put a little bit of back trim on for takeoff.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 178, 470 at 15,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 103, 150 at 7,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group,
And while I wait for the engine to spool up,
150
I'll
at
set up my radio again.
2,500,
Hooray.
flanking.
Backup Transkaya information, Charlie. Runway
Springfield
loose
2-1,
is
Overlord,
22.
Bra, 122,
1180
160 at 27,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 102, 150 at 7,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 121, 160 at 28,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 173, 470 at 15,000, flanking.
Interesting, now the damper doesn't want to come on. There we go, now it's warming up. I guess you gotta wait until both engines are running before it'll start. So that's something I'm gonna have to keep an eye on in the MiG-29. So, okay. So the buttons here, let me just get my pointer back. This shielded button is the parachute deploy, so that says like launch parachute or deploy parachute. This thing is a post light. So, pretty sure none of the Russian aircraft cockpits have these simulated properly. The MiG-21 doesn't. Every one of these funny bolt-looking things, those are all post lights, and so each one of those should be a light source. So every single panel in this cockpit has a post light near it, instead of just the weird downlights that this has that appear to be coming from nowhere. So that launches a parachute, and that there is your parachute release. English cockpits are for scrubs. Alright.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 116, for 150 at 10,000, flanking.
Micop traffic, Circus 14, taxis 04, Micop.
Springfield 2-1, Kanskaya, clear to taxi to runway 4.
Hello, can I have my nose wheel steering, thanks?
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 114, for 150 at 6,000, flanking.
There we go. That's more like it. And this left panel here looks like it's your weapon control. Yeah, okay. So, if I can avoid taxiing off into the snow while I point this stuff out, that looks like the master arm. This thing here controls your weapons mode. So, that right there, Schlem, is your helmet mode. Doesn't look like it has a pylon control like the MiG-21 has. I guess it's automatic in this. It's kind of automatic in the MiG-21 actually, which is sort of simulated.
Overlord, Bra 112 for 160 at 10,000.
I just want a clickable cockpit for this so I can click all the buttons and see what they do.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 142 for 150 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 162 for 70 at 15,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 110 for 160 at 10,000, flanking.
So I'm barely touching the throttle here. Like, I'm almost at ground idle, because if you put this thing much more than ground idle, it just takes off on you. And I'm not saying that just to, you know, be funny. It does actually take off on you.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
kind of ridiculous.
Bra 133 for 190 at 30,000, hot.
There's a windsock, and I should probably be using the other runway, because I'm taking off with a tail crosswind, which is, you know,
Springfield 2-1,
not good
Overlord,
practice.
Bra 141 for 170 at 7,000, hot.
Michael Traffic Circus 14, lining up rolling 04.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
I mean,
pop-up
that
group
said,
143 for
this is a jet.
170 at 1,500, hot.
It's not relatively speaking, for its size and the amount of lift it generates off this ridiculous blended wing, it's not a heavy jet, but it's heavy enough that I can probably get away with tailwind.
Flanking.
But obviously, like, normally you want to take off into wind under all circumstances. You don't take off with a tailwind, especially a tail crosswind. It's just asking for trouble. Okay, rotate about 170. Okay, so about 160, 170 knots is the rotation speed in Imperial. Good to know. Mycop traffic, Circus 1-4, clear, runway east, departing east, Mycop.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 132, for 180 at 30,000, flanking.
Okay, 132 for 180. There's got to be something closer. I just got to switch my radio over.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 142, for
Overlord,
140
Springfield
at
2-1, request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 158, 480 at 15,000, flanking.
Look at that smoke. God, this is a beautiful aircraft, though. It really is. Always had a big soft spot for the MiG-29 ever since I was a kid. One of the first flight simulators I actually played was the old Novologic MiG-29. A friend of mine from Moscow, obviously moved out to Australia as a kid. He used to have a bunch of those things. And that was annoying.
120 at 30,000 hot.
I think he also had Comanche,
Springfield 2
back when that looked like it was still actually going to be a thing.
150 at 7,000 hot.
I haven't played basically any of the classic shooters, unless you include Halo on it.
Traffic, Halo 1 taxi for runway 30, Delta.
But what I haven't played in classic shooters, I've made up for in classic flight sims.
Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 159, 470 at 15,000, flanking.
Not in a big hurry, so I'm not going to go balls to the wall. Just kind of cruise my way over, see what's going on down there. Being painted by friendly long-range air defense, but it's friendly, so I'm not real concerned.
414, taking runway 30, active. Immediate departure.
Some of these guys could use some actual brevity. Like, it's one thing to use the right terms and be concise in your communications, but it doesn't help if you say them at the speed of old people fucking. This thing has such good visibility. After flying the MiG-21 so much, every time I get in the MiG-29, it just makes me so happy. The Su-27 is really good too, but I think the MiG-29 actually has the best rearwards visibility out of any of the REDFOR fighters. It's just brilliant. Actually, probably the best rearwards visibility out of most fighters in the game. It's that good. It really is that good.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1, request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 152, 450 at 15,000, flanking.
Trickle on some more power, go up to 0.
Traffic,
the ship. F-18 turning left base for runway 30.
Just be warned, there is an enemy SAM site somewhere relatively close southeast, around Bucksun, I think. Hey, Bucksun, that was a Red Orchestra map. I used to really like that map too. Bucksun Valley. It was one of the really small claustrophobic winter maps that was really foggy. And it was, I mean, it was a Caucasus map, so it was very vertically oriented. Makes me miss Red Orchestra. I want to start playing that again. Pretty sure the Polish community in Red Orchestra 1 is still very active, but my ping to their servers is that high, there's not much point getting on. Maybe one day, when I move back to Civilization, I can take it back up again. Because that was probably still my favourite multiplayer game. It'd be a close contest between that and Halo Custom Edition.
Report traffic, single F-18, 1 mile final, runway 30.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 141 440 at 15,000, flanking.
This guy's notched to me, I think, otherwise I probably should have seen him by now. So I'll just kind of cruise over in his general direction and eventually I'll pick him up. Either visual or once he finally gives me a bit too much tail. Oh ho 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 ho. That could sound bad out of context. See, somewhere up there. He's
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 137 435 at 15,000,
35. He is quite close.
Springfield
About 5,000 feet
Overlord,
away.
pop-up group 146 for 110 at 1,500, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 153 480
What
at
I
7,000,
might
hot.
do, if I still can't pick him up when I get quite close, I might go into vertical scan
Springfield 2-1,
EOS and see if
Overlord,
that'll pick him up.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Flanking.
I think that's how that's supposed to work. I don't know.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 155 470
Looks like
at
AWACS is lost in
7,000,
too.
hot.
Because I'm getting calls for guys further to my south over there. Oh, I can actually see them. I'll just quickly... Okay, so it is set to pick up electro-optical or radar. So just kind of waggle my nose back and forth a bit and see if it picks anything up. Now, I don't know if there's any actual alert to whether you've locked someone in vertical scan, because I've never done it. But I assume it would tell you some way or another. Right, well, it doesn't see him.
Overlord, Springfield
So I go back into
2-1.
DVR.
Request bogey dope.
Start heading
Springfield
that
2-1,
ways.
Overlord, Bra
127
425 at
at
15,000, cold.
15,000. And he's cold, so I should have him. He's... maybe I'm not seeing him because he's in the ground clutter? I don't know. Let's see. How does this bore sight business work? Ah, like that.
253 Uzi 41 committed Bandit 21 Bulls 213 for 60.
Oh, had him for a second. There we go. That might not actually be him, that might be someone else. And there's a second out. This is pretty big. Big return. That might be an MI-26, which would explain why I've had trouble picking him up. And if it is, I'm not real keen to waste my 27s on him.
At 1,500.
12, 14. No. Nothing. There he is. Still
Hello, 414, Fox 3.
Overlord,
a very weak
Springfield
signal.
2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 117, 416 at 15,000, cold.
Oh, I see him. But I still can't lock him. Not even with the electro-optical, which is interesting. He's just pretty much on the Pipper right now. That's airborne radar on me. That'll be that fighter that I saw.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group
Which I need to deal with first, I think.
470 at 1,500.
Oh, now I can lock him. Okay.
Traffic makeup Uzi at correction. Traffic makeup Uzi.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 185, 440 at 1,500.
Get rid of my belly tank.
Springfield
Wrong
2-1,
net.
Overlord, Bra 185, 440
Wasn't meant to be
at
transferred at all, actually.
7,000.
That was my old keybind for ditching the belly tank, and is now my keybind for SRS to avoid conflicts with the Tom Cat controls.
At 15,000.
And I think I got a fighter behind me, so what I might do is just blast a 27 at this guy, which I didn't really want to do.
Overlord, Bra 249,
So this one for
44
Foxhole?
at 24,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 140, 450 at 30,000
Run to the
knots.
target warehouse. Setting up
Splash.
security.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 140, 460 at 21,000, flanking.
Fox 3.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 141, 445 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 13344 at 15,000, cold. Springfield
that guy's well
2-1,
and truly
Overlord,
down.
Bra 268 410 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1,
Take this girl
Overlord,
upstairs.
Bra 137 445 at 30,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Overlord,
Group
Springfield 2-1. Request bogey
at
dope.
1,500, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 133 440 at 27,000, hot.
13340. And I'm turning entirely the wrong way, which I totally intended to do.
Traffic makeup 83-1, turning base.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 152 4100 at
Get some vapor going.
35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 186 435
Overlord,
at
Springfield
2,500,
2-1.
flanking.
Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 125 435 at 25,000, hot.
Okay, I'm slightly concerned that I can't see this guy.
Magnum.
There we go.
Uzi 4-1,
Spike
Fox
off
3
him.
on F5.
Gonna hold the launch because he would have defeated it there, so I'm gonna get closer.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 072 130 at 7,000,
Splash.
hot.
He's already defensive. Is someone else on
Springfield
him?
2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 201 435 at 1,000, cold.
Yeah, I think someone else might have splashed that guy. Looks like he's going in.
Springfield
So just stay on him for now, but I think he's
Bra
going down.
124 450 at
Friendly off my nose.
21,000 knots.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Getting to about 16,
Springfield
1700
2-1. Overlord,
fuel.
bra,
So we're a little
070
low.
for 120
Traffic
at
backup, runway
7,000 knots.
I'm going to want to set
Springfield
this thing down.
2-1. Overlord, bra,
Pretty
168
shortly.
450 at 1,500 knots.
I'll just deal with this last guy, I think, and then find somewhere to land. Now, whereabouts am I exactly? Ah, wow, I'm all the way over here by Sukhumi. So I guess Sukhumi is where I will be refueling.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Is that friendly? I assume so.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Treibstoff 1500.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord,
Treibstoff
bra, 125
Nope.
428
Roger that.
at
Transporting security
21,000
Target
knots.
location.
That is definitely not friendly, I would say. Or, actually, it might be friendly going for this guy.
Over, Fox 3.
See who that is off my nose.
Uzi 4-1, Fox 3.
Archer.
Springfield 2-1.
Oh, yep.
Overlord,
So he's firing at
bra,
that guy.
062 for 110 at 6,000
And he's got a
knots.
spam ram out, so that will probably connect. Probably. If not, then I've got the backup. And that looks like a splash to me.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, bra, 126 450 at 35,000 flanking. Springfield 2-1. Overlord, pop-up group,
Uzi 4-1, Fox 3.
427 at 1,500 flanking.
Report, Fox 2.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, bra, 145 411 at 9,000 knots.
Circus 1-4, Fox 1.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, bra,
4-1, rig up.
at 35,000 knots.
That didn't track.
Springfield 2-1. Overlord, bra,
Fox 3.
Circus 1-4, Fox 2.
5144 at 10,000 knots.
Splash, times 2, Frankfurt.
Achtung, Flughöhe. Achtung, Flughöhe. Achtung, Flughöhe. Achtung,
Fox 2 again.
Flughöhe. Achtung, Flughöhe.
Splash. Okay, I really need to go
Springfield
land now.
2-1. Overlord,
About to get the 800
092
kilograms returned to base
at
for me.
35,000 flanking.
092 for 30. Fuck, they're all over
Springfield
me.
2-1. Overlord, bra, 281 428 at
Buddy.
3,500
Buddy spot.
gold.
I do not understand why I could not lock that fucking MiG-29 up at 2 miles.
MiG-29 is me. I think that was a Sukhoi.
Springfield
That I bagged.
2-1. Overlord, bra, 286 428 at 4,000
It was either 29 or flanker. It was 29.
I think it was a flanker. I think I was between you and him, but I don't know.
I think I was between you two because your missile came from behind me. I was right on his tail. I was about to gun him because I couldn't fucking lock him up.
Huh.
At 2 miles. How the fuck does that happen?
Well, he managed to weave away from one of my R-73s in pretty close as well, so maybe he was just lucky.
I've got the helmet mounted sight looking right at him in bore sight at fucking 2 miles, and I can't lock him up.
Traffic makeup Uzi 31 taxiing to 04.
Circus 14 checking out going ground. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 14, currently 3 miles to the east of the aerodrome, joining downwind runway 12 Sukhumi.
Treibstoff 800. Treibstoff kritisch. Treibstoff 800.
Uzi 41's RTB out to the Stennis.
We'll pop the air brake for a moment just to bleed some extra speed. Nose really pitches up when that brake's out, which is interesting. Actually, I think the Tomcat does the same thing. Okay. I will pop my flaps. Probably too fast for that, actually, because I keep forgetting this airspeed indicator is in knots, not kilometers an hour.
Uzi 32, inbound, Bodie, runway 30.
Sukhumi traffic, Circus 14, turning base 12, Sukhumi. I'm really low and quite long in the final, but, you know, we'll survive. I do need to just pop the air brake a little more to bleed off some more speed because I'm coming in quite hot. I'm going to be going about 180 over the fence.
Make up Uzi 31 lining up to 04.
Gear down, give us some back trim, maybe not quite that much. Looking alright. Oh, don't freeze, DCS. Okay, just hold off, hold off, hold off. Quite a long landing, because she floats a little, but nice and smooth. Third landing of the day is the good one. Not going to bother with the chute, because I don't need it over this short of a distance, really. I can just use the brakes. We've got plenty of room. So I'll pull in the flaps, and God, that's going to be irritating. It's an airborne radar, quite close. Okay, that was a little fast on that corner, but we got away with it.
Springfield 2-1. Taxi to parking area.
Sukhumi traffic, Circus 14, clear all runways, Sukhumi. I will just silence the SPO for now, but don't let me forget.
127, 421 at 1,500 hot.
And that would probably be why it's squealing at me. There's someone really close down there.
Overlord, Bra, 041, 460 at 35,000, flanking.
So, sitting on 7 kills, I died at 5, so I had an ace flight and then got killed by SAMs. I thought, oh, I can use Minvodi as a refueling point, so I'm coming in from the mountains, and sure enough, there is a SAM site directly between me and Minvodi. Guess I should have gone to Mozdok after all. But, you know, that'll teach
Springfield
me.
2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 318-435 at 9,000, cold.
Okay, I think I can turn the SPO back up now without deafening
Springfield
everyone.
2-1, Overlord, Bra 075 for 120 at 40,000, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 129 for 45 at 28,000, flanking.
Tactical Uzi 3-1 outbound, make copy intention, strike targets Fox Juliet 76.
Still had 2 R-73s left, so I could have dealt with another aircraft, but I really didn't want to get too carried away with the fuel state. When you hear that 800 litres return to base, or sorry, 800 kilograms, you really want to actually pay attention to it. Actually, in German it tells you 800 kilograms fuel level critical. In Russian it tells you 800 litres return to base.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group 324-440 at 8,000,
Shut both the
cold.
engines down.
Chevy, defending Bandit at bullseye 124
And get this
for
thing
120.
refueled and rearmed. Let's wait for the engines to finish spooling down, otherwise the ground crew will have a hissy fit again. They're very sensitive.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Copy.
There we go. They're happy with that. So I had 2 R-73s still left, and my gun. Didn't use my gun
Treibstoff
at all that fight.
800. Treibstoff kritisch.
So it looks like there's quite a bit of action going on around Nalchik and Beslan.
Treibstoff 1500.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 061 for 110 at 40,000, flanking.
Getting quite nice and dark out. Right on sunset. The lighting in this game is beautiful.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 045
Sounds
for
like I got
70
quite a
at
lot of targets very
26,000,
close to me,
flanking.
so as soon as I'm off the ground I should have plenty of action at least.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 115 for 60 at 28,000, hot.
Damper's still on.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 102 for 35 at 35,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up
So,
group 315
these are your air start
450
switches here,
at
left,
7,000, flanking.
I think that's your emergency shutdown for the afterburner,
Overlord,
like the
pop-up group
emergency disconnect for the burner.
415 at 1,500, hot.
Those 2 switches I'm pretty sure are
Springfield 2-1,
Actually,
Overlord, Bra 070 for 140 at
I think
35,000,
they're
hot.
fuel tank transfer switches.
Springfield 2-1,
That,
Overlord, Bra 111 450
think
at
is the
26,000,
fire extinguisher.
flanking. Springfield 2-1,
Rearming
Overlord,
complete.
pop-up group flanking.
Alright, we are good to go right as we get locked up on the ground again.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 119, 460, at 7,000, hot.
I'm not actually sure what we have in the way of air defences at Sukhumi, so the sooner I can get off the ground, the better, because I'm much safer in the air than I am sitting down here. Much, much safer. Let's go ahead and start the right engine now, so I can get this thing off the ground quicker. If it'll let me. I think you actually do need to start the engines one at a time in the MiG-29, whereas in the Su-27 it seems happy to start both. Yeah, one at a time. Gotta wait for the left engine to spool up. I will reset my trim. Put a little bit of back trim on for takeoff. Okay, should be able to start right now.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 150, 470.
So on the light board here,
flanking.
that is the right engine start, that's the left engine start.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra,
That's
119, 450,
rudder trim,
at 7,000,
aileron trim.
hot.
The one that's out there is the pitch trim. And then the one below it is the ARU, which is the system that controls basically how much effect how much stick movement you need for a certain amount of control deflection, basically. So when this light's on, it basically says ARU takeoff landing, which is when the ARU is in its low speed mode. The MiG-21 has a similar system, it's just, you know, a bit more archaic in the way it's displayed. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, taxis 1-2, Sukhumi. Just check chat every now and then to make sure the server's not about to restart on me. I hope it doesn't, because I would like to get some night flying in. I haven't done anywhere near enough.
063 for 130 at 9,000, flanking.
And that sunset is absolutely gorgeous.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 059 for 35 at 35,000, cold.
They're quite close, which is a bit disconcerting.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 090 for 45 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Okay,
Bra,
dampers on.
119 for
Trim
45
set.
at 7,000,
Pop my
hot.
flaps once I'm on the runway itself.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra,
And it looks like
139 for 70 at 18,000, flanking.
not many people on the server at the moment actually have air-to-air kills, which is interesting.
Springfield
Me and two of the
2-1,
Hornets have been
Overlord,
doing most of the
pop-up
heavy
group,
lifting.
126 for 10 at 1,500, hot. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 149 for 70 at 25,000, hot.
God, look at that. That is gorgeous. I love this game.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra, 302 for 60 at 7,000, cold.
Everyone's
Springfield
harping
2-1,
on about,
Overlord,
oh, Ace
Bra,
Combat 7 looks so
026
beautiful,
for
and it looks like
60
real
at
photos. Bro,
29,000,
play
hot.
DCS. Like, look at this. Ace Combat 7 isn't
Springfield
bad looking
2-1,
graphically,
Bra,
but
118
DCS
for
kicks the
40
shit out of it,
at
honestly.
7,000, hot.
this is absolutely stunning.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, pop-up group, 126 for 10 at 1,500, hot.
I'm kind of worried that this guy's going to pop me coming off the runway. He
Springfield
is basically
2-1,
flying
Overlord.
right down the runway by the looks of it. So that could be an issue. I almost feel like I should go into my takeoff roll in air-to-air mode. Oh shit, I can fucking see him. Too bad I've got ground safety, otherwise I could drop a missile off the rails and kill him from down here. Yeah, I'm going to lock him right now, if I can. No, I can't.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Sukhumi
Bra,
traffic, Circus
135
1-4
for
rolls into.
60 at 35,000, flanking.
Oh, this is going to be really unpleasant.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 164, 450 at 35,000
Right
knots.
there.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 125, 480 at 21,000 flanking.
There we go.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 122, 460 at
Circus 1 4,
25,000
Fox 1,
knots.
Sukhumi. Straight off the runway, because why the fuck not? Oh, and I'm transmitting on the wrong nav. Oh, it's a helicopter, okay.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra
Just gonna
166, 440
try and
at
Get the
35,000
aircraft so it's
knots.
more or less stable, and then switch frequencies back to general air. There we go.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey
Oh
dope.
shit, contacts off the nose.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, clean.
Clean? Don't think so, buddy. There's two of them right here.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord,
Yeah, there
Bra
we go.
116, 450 at 26,000 knots. Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 129, 445 at 35,000 flanking.
Fox 1 Sanaki. Well, towards Sanaki. But you know. Okay, that was the
Touchdown at
second
target
hit.
location, shutting down and deploying security perimeter now.
That's him. Where's the second? I saw two.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 303, 110 at
Roger that. Transporting
1,500
security
cold.
forces to the target location.
I definitely saw two contacts, so where's the second?
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 111, 445 at 25,000 knots.
It's like, stop bashing my track IR around trying to scratch my ear.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 048, 470 at 27,000 flanking.
Spike off my nose. That will be the guy I'm currently chasing, who I can't actually see on my radar.
Overlord, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
Down to
Springfield
73s
2-1,
now,
Overlord,
unfortunately, so I'm going to have to get
119,
really close.
422 at 28,000 knots.
28,000, so he's going to be quite high.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, Bra 041,
Get rid of that belly
460
tank.
at 16,000 flanking.
Server restarting in 20 minutes. That'll be him up there. Somewhere.
Springfield 2-1, Overlord, merged.
Merged. Interesting. Ah,
Feuer,
shit.
linkes Triebwerk. Feuer,
Springfield
rechtes
2-1,
Triebwerk.
Overlord, Bra
Radarfehler.
094, 419 at
EOS
18,000
Fehler.
flanking.
ACS-Fehler.
Lost my hydraulics.
Hydraulikfehler. Feuer, linkes Triebwerk. Feuer, rechtes Triebwerk. Radarfehler. EOS-Fehler. ACS-Fehler.
Didn't quite see him. Oh, jeez, I'm glad I got out of that when I did.
Hydraulikfehler. Feuer, linkes Triebwerk.
Couldn't tell which was him and which
Feuer,
was the
rechtes
missiles.
Triebwerk. Radarfehler.
Server's restarting in 20. I'm just gonna... Since this server's restarting, I'm gonna jump out and I'm just gonna check and see if that issue with the MiG-21 was this server or if it was something else. Actually, let's see if it says what killed me. I'm not sure if it will. Okay. I don't think it logs back that far in chat. Maybe it does. Nope. Oh well. Someone wrecked my shit. It was AI, obviously, but didn't even get a shot at the guy. Well, I couldn't even pick him up on radar, that's the thing. Which was an unpleasant surprise. And I still am not 100% certain how vertical scan works. Like, I assume it would tell you that you've got something locked, but I don't know. I know what it's intended for. It's intended for when you're right in a, like, real close range turn fight with somebody, so you can just bring the nose onto them and shoot, but I would think it would tell you when you've actually got something locked. So I'll dip out. And I might actually switch to OCG just for a bit. Maybe 1 or 2 flights in the MiG-21 there while Georgia at War restarts. I'm not entirely certain how long I'll stream for tonight. I do need to be up quite early tomorrow morning for the 345th mission. So same as last week at 0600 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which is 1900 GMT and like around noon US East Time. It's the second mission of the Vietnam mini-campaign that 345th's running in Armour 3. So if you guys are around at that time, stop by and there should be some pretty good memes in that. 345th Vietnam missions almost always end in tears, laughter, war crimes, or some combination of the three. So it should definitely be worth watching if you're around, if you're up. Of course, that is supposing I don't sleep through the 3 alarms I have set, which isn't unheard of, but hopefully that won't happen. Unfortunately, this server does take a while to load into. The bigger the mission file is, the longer it tends to take. Also, obviously, the more people are in the server. Georgia at War actually loads much slower though, so at least I'm not reconnecting to that yet. So Georgia at War is a more structured sort of mission, which I would prefer to play, but since I'd been having a lot of issues with lag on there, I kind of stopped playing it for a couple weeks. it was alright tonight, probably because it was relatively quiet and there weren't very many people on. I might start playing on there again and just see how it goes. Hopefully they've solved their issues, because I would like to play on there more. Through the Inferno is all well and good for just some basically quick air quake against the AI, but it's not really that fulfilling as a mission. Basically all you're doing is just flying around, shooting shit, landing, flying around, shooting shit, landing. I mean, I do that in Georgia at War too, because I fly mostly cap, but there's a bit more structure to it there, and people are a lot more communicative, and generally the atmosphere is a little better. Through the Inferno servers, especially OCG, can be a bit iffy at times. People will come in, they won't be on comms, they'll fucking dick around. There's a lot of people that are new to the game and don't understand what they're doing, don't know what an IFF is or why they should use it. So when I can, I do definitely prefer to be on Georgia at War. Right, let's see if I'm still having this sideways cockpit bullshit. Nope. Okay, so something in Georgia at War is bugging out the MiG-21. Good to know. Oh, and my clean cockpit textures actually seem to work in this server. Wait, no they don't. No, okay. It's just because I can't see the dirt with the angle it's on at the moment. So what I did was I downloaded one of the clean cockpit texture packs, and I don't want the actual interior to be clean, I just want the perspex to be a little clearer. So what I did was I took the relevant files from that and copied them across into my personalized MiG-21 cockpit, but it doesn't look like it's worked, so I'm going to have to figure out why. Anyway, I can go ahead and get rid of the SRS overlay, which you guys can't see anyway. But it is there. Get rid of that, because I don't need it in this aircraft. And I will go ahead and bomb up. I think I'll be using the same loadout I used last time I was on here, and I'll be sticking with the East German theme I had going with the MiG-29 there. So what I want to do is take a pair of R60Ms on each inboard pylon, and then R3Rs on the outer pylons. And a big 800-litre fuel tank on the centre line. And that should do us nicely. Oh, and I want to change my board number as well, before I forget that. See, that guy knows how you take off. He knows to use full burner. Wonder what's happened here. You can see all the craters. Someone's bombed the shit out of the parking area. Bombed the shit out of the airport terminal. Hopefully the runway isn't cratered. Because if the runway's cratered, I'm going to have a really bad day. Okay, I can go ahead and start up now. I'm just going to do my startup rather than the official one, because mine is quicker and easier to remember. And make sure that I have everything on that I need to be on before I even leave the ground. If I leave things until I'm on the taxi roll, or God forbid airborne, I forget so easily. I do have a checklist, it's just... this is easier for me, so this is what I'm going to stick with for the moment. Should probably start the engine before I set up the RSBN, while I still have some battery power left. Okay, flaps, RSBN to channel 6, which is actually for Sochi, because Sukhumi doesn't have an RSBN station. But I like to set it up for that anyway. Then I will go over here. I'll just set the arc to start with, so it doesn't start squawking at me the moment it's turned on. Channel 1, and then nose cone, auxiliary hydro pumps, trimmer, radio arc, radio altimeter, RSBN, fucking gyro instruments, autopilot, whatever that is, pitch, okay, tangage, pitch, makes sense, like tangent, power to all the weapons pylons, gun sight, IFF, turn the flight recorder on, even though I don't need to turn it on. It is actually functional, for those of you that don't know. If you turn the SARPP system on, which is this switch here, it will record your flight telemetry every couple of seconds to a text file in the DCS, like My Documents Games DCS folder under MiG-21. So that's pretty neat that it does actually work. Go ahead and put the radar in standby, put it on medium altitude mode preemptively. IFF SPO, turn that up. Get my gun sight set, put the weather filter on, align my gyros, missile mode, air to air, and then I can set this up using my new HOTAS bindings for it. So 1 and 2 are the inner pylons, so I want to go 4 and just work my way back from pylon 4 for my missiles. I won't cock the gun until I'm in the air. So now that's all set up, I'll go ahead and close the canopy, bit of back trim for takeoff, and that should be just about everything. So apparently, and I saw this on the DCS forums, apparently this is happening, but don't quote me on this if it doesn't end up being a thing. The MiG-21's getting a midlife overhaul, so like it's getting proper vapor and a new cockpit and all this, so there'll be a new cockpit mesh, which is welcome. I mean, this cockpit looks nice, but an even better one would be even, you know, be awesome. And then there's a lot of things like all these little labels shouldn't be backlit. This should all be luminous paint, like the recovery button and the course aligner and all of that. So they're going to hopefully fix that. And then all of these funny looking bolt kind of things, like these above the instruments, and then this thing, and all of these things on the RSBN panel, those are all poster lights. So at the moment, the red floodlight is from like 3 or 4 light sources. There, and then there. And then there's a white floodlight here. In real life, the MiG-21 has those floodlights, but it also has poster lights across the entire instrument panel. The whole thing should be lit up. So I'm hoping they'll fix that too. Anyway, that's enough of me nattering away. I'm on the right frequency. I will just take the brakes off. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 14 taxis 12, Sukhumi. Back to the good old differential braking for steering on this thing. None of that fancy nose wheel steering shit. I hope that's not a landing approach. Oh my god, that is a landing approach. Oh god help us. That must be what I looked like when I turned the damper off. Oh my lord! Nice! An attempted team kill on the runway. It's gonna be one of those nights, I guess, on the OCG server. It looks like that MiG-29 did the same thing I did and accidentally turned his damper off. Also, the ground crew haven't given me the right weapons. God damn it. I think because I went to change my board number, it reset to default, so I'm going to have to just quickly do a bit of a U-ey here. Shut the plane into a U-turn. Yoink! Round we go. And just get them to rearm me with the missiles I actually asked for. Thankfully, the MiG-21 module doesn't require you to switch the engine off. Whoops. Doesn't require you to switch the engine off before they rearm the aircraft. If they did, then I would be in a really bad mood right now. But we can just set this up. While we idle, everything else looks good, except for some reason it wants me to carry a number of shafts that just can't carry it all. Still team killing going on. Good shit. The plus side of this means that by the time I am finally off the ground, the radar will be well and truly warmed up. I don't have to worry about it not being ready. So there's a friendly, well, allegedly friendly F-15 going around killing people on the runway. Mashed pixels. I don't know if that was just some beef between him and that MiG-29, or if he's just doing that to everyone. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Okay. Now I got the weapons I wanted. But if people are team killing on the ground, or, you know, team killing aircraft on the ground, that would certainly explain why Sukhumi is in a state of rack and ruin, because normally even when enemy bombers overfly this, they don't actually do anything to it. I'm just going to keep an eye on him, because I don't trust that guy. I really don't trust that guy. Oh, I just went into the grass to avoid that, but I can get out, I can get out, I can get out, I can get out. Come on. Into burner, let's go. What an absolute papega. What a moron. Can't even team kill properly. And he disconnected. Good shit. Good shit. What a legend. I'm so glad I got that on stream. Like, I don't even know who the admins are to show them to get him banned, but I don't really care. The fact I got him failing to team kill a taxiing aircraft, that makes it worth it. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, lining up, rolling 1-2, Sukhumi. Okay, flaps down, trim is set.
33.
Just try and straighten the aircraft out after all that excitement. There we go. Gear and flaps up. Sukhumi traffic, Circus 1-4, clear all runways departing to the southwest. Sukhumi. And checking out. There we go. Okay, radar on. In low altitude because there's guys right off my nose, basically. 236 I'm gonna go for. There he is! There's the birdie. Definitely enemy, I just IFF'd him there. Above me. Oh, there's one on the deck too. Right there off the nose. Can I get him, or is he too low? He might be too low for the radar to see at the moment. I think that's the bomber. Yes, it is. So I'm going to ignore him for now. I'm going to go for the F5, so I'm going to cock my guns right now.
Focus. Bra.
15,000 feet, so he's quite high above me.
38,000. Flanking.
Going to burner.
100.
I've lost him on radar.
Group 276. 420 at 1,500. Cold.
There we go. Got two now. come on. Lost him against the water. He's weaving back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and switch to IR missiles. So I don't think I've got much hope of catching him with the R3Rs at this range. It's a shoot. Probably hooking around behind me if I know F5s. He will be dropping in on my tail any moment. Oh, no, he'll be off my nose apparently. I can't seem to lock him. If I can just get him visual, I probably won't need to. There he is. Right, gotcha. It's really hard to see against the sky. There we go. Looks good, looks good.
100, focus.
Splash? What? Oh shit.
At 500, flanking.
Fuck. Now I'm gonna get popped by the F5. Fucking right on top of each other.
100, focus. Pop-up group 130.
To be fair, that's my first team kill in like several weeks. So
100, focus.
I think I can get away with that one. 323 at 21 miles.
100, focus.
And I think I'm being body spiked.
421 at 1,500, flanking. 100, focus. Bra 329 for 130 at 24,000, flanking.
Okay, belly tank's empty, so I'm gonna get rid of it.
Pop-up group 315 for 20 at 1,500.
I keep doing that, fucking hitting the wrong key.
100, focus. Pop-up group 130 for 110 at 10,000 knots.
Pretty sure I saw an aircraft off my nose, it might be that bomber. 319 for 16.1, yeah, I'd say that's him. Can't get him on my radar, but he is 820 feet, so he's right above the water. And I'm not likely to see him on my radar at that kind of height. Oh, there we go. I'd say that might be him. Still nothing on radar. Someone tagged him. Okay, so the next nearest enemy is MiG-23 at 045 for 74. Hopefully I can engage these guys over the mountains, because that would be a little safer for me. Being that the MiG-23 is BVR capable, quite BVI capable, and I'm not. I really need to use terrain to my advantage to get close to them if I want to have any chance of killing them at all. Well, I'll backstep on that. If I want to have any chance of not dying to them at all, let alone killing them.
Focus. Pop-up group 326 Fort 100 at 2000 flanking. 100. Focus. Bra
037 for 56. Yep, that will be over the mountains by the time we meet, by the looks of it.
100. Focus. Bra 035 450 at 22,000 flanking. 100. Focus. Pop-up group.
They're heading more or less south,
100 at 7,000.
which is good because it means I don't have to worry about them engaging me yet. They can't see me.
Focus. Bra 023 Fort 100 at 22,000 flanking.
So if I can sneak up on them,
100. Focus.
I'm in with a chance. Except it is a formation of 2.
At 24,000.
Well, a group of 2.
100. Focus. Bra 043 440.
I'm going to go ahead and switch my radar on now, even though I'm still out of range.
100.
Just so I don't have to worry about it when they're right on me.
490 at 25,000 flanking. 100. Focus. Bra.
Focus. 100. Request bogey dope.
037 for 30. So I should be seeing them quite soon.
037 428 at 24,000 knots.
I'll see them come onto my radar scope about 20 miles, 18 to 20 miles. And I can lock them once I'm within about 8 to 10, I think. The detection range on the radar is 35, the lock range is 20, but, you know, AWACS is Blue 4, so he's giving everything in Imperial. Normally I prefer Imperial for aviation-related stuff, but not when I'm flying Soviet aircraft, which are on Metro. There we go. There's one, and they are starting to spike me. This is the nearest. He's within 14.5 miles. And above me. So I've got my nose on him now, more or less. Coming into missile range. Looks like he's already fired at me, so I think I'm gonna have to turn away. Too slow. Way too slow. But I will see if I can maybe bring the nose around and tag him with
Focus. 100. Request bogey dope.
071. Oh no, I've lost my gyro too actually. Oh no, there he is. Watch this. Please still have power to the missiles. Please still have power to the missiles. Come on. Nope. Do I have power to the gun? No, I don't. Fuck, I've got no weapons. But that's him right there. Oh god, if my missiles had power, I could just pop him right now. So I have no electrical power right now, but I still have an engine. So what I'm going to do is try and figure out where exactly I am. So if I head southwest-ish, which I have no concept of because I have no gyros, if I head basically that way, as long as my aircraft doesn't actually burn up or explode and I have just enough fuel to clear the mountains, I'm going to put this bird down at Sukhumi, just like I did about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago when I got popped by a missile like this. Now, I don't even know why the wings would be burnt. Well, aluminium, I guess, but there's nothing really flammable in the wings, because the MiG-21's fuel tanks are all in its fuselage. There's nothing in the wings at all, other than hydraulic fluid for the control boosters, and, you know, the fact that it is aluminium skinned. I don't have any trimmer either, because, you know, no electrical power means no trimmer. God knows how the engine's still running, or how I still have control over it. Obviously I still have my vacuum instruments because they have no need for electrical power. What I will do is switch to the backup pitot since the nose is all mangled up. I have no SAU either. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, what? I also have no ailerons, apparently. So, well, I guess I'm getting some roll out of the ailerons here, but still. I assume that's what's happening anyway. But I wouldn't think I'd have that much roll authority with them. Then again, the MiG-21 is pretty much a manned missile. But see, this is the problem with engaging MiG-23s. Unless you visually acquire the missile, which I did, but I didn't turn away early enough, you're pretty much done. Because your RWR won't tell you that there's a missile coming, only that something has you locked. And so you have to kind of guess at it. Now, I've got no radio, which means I'm going to have to hope that nobody is in the way. I'm not going to land on the runway, since I'll have no gear either. Well, I could probably pop the gear with the emergency release, but with the amount of damage on the aircraft, I don't think that it would come down. I suspect I've lost my main gear. So what I'm going to do is just come in on the belly and plant the thing on the grass next to the parking area, like I did last time, basically. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and, if I can remember where it is, right there. See you later, canopy. Just in case. Plus, I like to feel the rush of the wind in my hair. Okay, where the fuck am I? Oh shit, I'm actually over the city. I bet this is going to look fucking awesome from the ground. As long as I don't screw it up. I've done this before, so I know that I can do it. It's just a case of if I can do it today. Just gotta watch my airspeed, and it's going to be quite difficult with no pitch trim, because you are very heavily reliant on the pitch trim in the MiG-21, just even for normal flight, let alone takeoff and landing. But do I have an air brake? No, I don't have an air brake. But the aircraft is so smashed up that it basically is its own air brake, so I'm sure we'll be fine. I also don't think I have flaps, but it's worth checking. And I can't remember if there's a switch in here to set the flaps to pneumatic, like emergency flaps. There probably is an emergency flap switch somewhere in here, but I can't remember what it is. I am still way too fast, so I'll do a bit of a beat up and then figure eight in over the runway, I think. Oop. Actually, I might just be good at about this speed. Clear the fence, clear the parking area, come on. Come on. Don't hit the parking area. There we are. There we are. There we are. Oh. How about that? Fuck, I hope someone saw that. Oh, man. Oh. Who needs ailerons, really? Who needs electronics? Who needs any of that shit? What the fuck? Yeah, I have just the... I don't know if you can even see that on the stream. I have just the tiniest bit of roll response out of the elevons. Just the tiniest bit. But that, I don't think I should have had the degree of roll authority that I had coming in on that approach. I think this damage model definitely needs looking at. Because there is no way in hell that that should have worked. At all. But hey, it somehow did. Oh man, and what a perfect fucking landing. Comes in next to the parking area, crosses the taxiway and lands and ends up next to the main taxiway. The only downside is I don't think there's anyone actually on the ground at Sukhumi at the moment to see that, which is disappointing. I really wish that somebody had witnessed that. Like, the last time I did that, there was a Hornet, actually there was a pair of Hornets taxiing back along this taxiway right behind me, and they got front row seats to the whole thing. I came in from the opposite end. So I came in from about there and just swung around in a big turn, popping flares as I went, and about where that guy's coming in from, or maybe he's going to do the same thing. He looks like he's kind of fucked up. Anyway, coming in from where he came in, I just went boom, straight across the grass, past where I am now, over this taxiway, and ended up about halfway between where I am and where those MI8s are parked. And the Hornets were just sitting there watching the whole thing. I'm actually going to watch this guy come in, because it looks like he's pretty beaten up. I want to see if he pulls it off. Wonder who that is. Ah, there's a second guy there as well. After I watch this guy come in, I'll probably reconnect to Georgia at War, since that should be well and truly restarted by now. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Looks like he's doing the exact same thing I just did. Although it looks like he might be trying to land on the actual runway, which is a rookie mistake if you're that badly damaged.
Bernie, single ship Hornet on finals for runway 30, full stop.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Fucking fireballing it down the runway. What is that? That is a Harrier. But see, he still has wheels. That's not as impressive. Actually, I wonder what it looks like when someone lawn darts a Harrier. I've never seen one belly land. Alright, well, my work here is done. So I'm gonna duck out. Actually, I just want to have a look at his aircraft first to see where he's getting. Bear with me, there'll be some loud noise. And texture bugs. That's the Hornet. Oh, there's the Harry next to me. He's taken a few good hits. Just gotta wait for the ground textures to load in. You can see me in front of him there. Oh man. That was awesome. Okay, I'm over it. Well, I'm glad you guys were there to witness that at least, even if no one else was. I love doing shit like that. It's actually more fun to bring a stupidly damaged aircraft back and do like this awesome on-fire belly landing across the parking area than it is to actually shoot someone down. I like to provide entertainment for people. I like to give people a spectacle. And I think that was a pretty big fucking spectacle. Okay, Georgia, well, looks like it's restarted. Oh, it's morning. Oh, I want to do some nighttime flying. God damn it. Oh. I'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 sorties in this, and then I should probably start thinking about getting some sleep for tomorrow. Just got to switch servers on SRS while it loads in. So I'll probably take the MiG-29 up again, since the MiG-21 seems bugged on this server. Well, actually I say that. I might just spawn one in to check, and if I get the same issue where my view is skewed off to one side, I'll just take the 29. But if I can take the 21, I probably will. I do really enjoy flying the MiG-21. It's challenging, but not too challenging. And just having the full fidelity clickable cockpit is so nice. I'm hoping when they do the midlife update for the MiG-21, they also do take a look at its damage model, because I think, I mean, aside from the fact I did just manage to pull that off with no ailerons and no electrics, being able to belly land the MiG-21 with stupid amounts of damage seems pretty legit, but some of the damage I've had and had systems still work makes me think. Like, I've had the nose cone get blown out from a hit from behind somehow, which didn't damage the radar and didn't get ingested into the engine. I don't think anything models engine ingestion at the moment in DCS, which I wish it would. But, yeah, so that somehow didn't compressor stall the engine either, even though the nose cone was gone, and the radar was still working. So there was that. I've had a couple times where I've been missing basically 3/4 of a wing, and the aircraft is handled as if there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, obviously it hasn't flown well, but it's flown well enough for me to get back to base and land. So I think there's some issues with it that need looking at. So hopefully they'll adjust that. And I think there's some pretty decent damage, like decent detail in the damage model. So occasionally you'll lose 1 or 2 random systems just from a couple of cannon shell hits. You might take a smattering of fire from an F5 or something and suddenly realize, oh, my gyro is not working, or oh, some of my electrics are out. So the potential's there. It seems kind of sketchy the way it actually calculates it at the moment, which is an issue that the F14 probably will not have when it releases, judging by the video that Mags did for it a while ago, where if you pull too many Gs, you'll basically shit out your own fucking gyro through the bottom of the aircraft, which looks like good fun. See, that's the other thing too. I overstress the MiG-21 all the time without realizing it. I have pegged the accelerometer at 10 Gs, because that's as high as it goes, so many times, and the aircraft doesn't seem any the worse for wear. I mean, if you're carrying external stores, you might lose them, but 10 G turn? No, don't give a shit. It just does not give a shit. Doesn't seem to break anything, doesn't seem to affect anything, and in real life, the MiG-21 BIS was limited to was that 7.5 or 8.5? I think it might have been 8.5G, and the older MiG-21s were 7G. So, you know, 8.5, 10, or more likely 11 or 12, there's a bit of a difference there. So it seems like they might probably want to do something about that. With that said, it is a very solidly built aircraft. I mean, it's basically a barrel with wings, and they're not very big wings either. So it wouldn't surprise me if the airframe itself can hold up against, you know, 10 or 11G. It's just that various things within the aircraft won't. Should be interesting when the MiG-23 comes out to see how detailed the damage modeling on that is, because the MiG-23 has all sorts of weird and wonderful quirks. For instance, if you are flying at about Mach 2 or above and you chop the throttle from full burner to idle, well, the aircraft won't let you do it to start with. There's a hydromechanical limiter in the throttle to prevent you from doing that. But if for some reason that failed and you were able to chop the throttle from full burner at Mach 2, the engine would liberate itself from the airframe through the nose. So you would have a really up close and personal experience with the turbine. And the reason for that is literally the engine would rip itself off of its mounts inside the aircraft and just keep going forwards because of the inertia. The MiG-23 was a very lightly built aircraft, but the engine, as you might imagine, is pretty heavy. Oh, and it looks like I got kicked back to the main menu. I thought that I was just waiting to load in. We'll try that again. Sometimes when I load into a server, it will actually display the main menu as if I've been kicked back to it while it's still loading. So I thought that was what happened there, but apparently not. So I'll try the MiG-21, and if that works, I'll take that up for a flight or two. If it doesn't, I'll take the 29 up. I just wish that, I mean, I know why they have the MiG-29G on this server. It's because that, you know, it's a red versus blue campaign, basically, east versus west. And so they're using the German MiG-29 specifically, but it would kind of make more sense if there were MiG-29s from, say, Poland or maybe one of the former Soviet republics as well, or Ukraine or something, involved. So you could get the MiG-29S or at least the MiG-29A. Because the MiG-29G kind of annoys me because the HUD and the instrumentation do not agree on which units to use. And the skin selection for it isn't very good. Well, I mean, I've got those East German skins, which are really, really nice, but that's it. There's not much else for it. I've got more skins for the MiG-29A and MiG-29S than I do for the G. Okay, looks like I am actually loading in now, which is good. Hopefully it won't kick me again. Hey, there we go. Now we've loaded in. So let's see, MiG-21 bis Colt 9. We will try that, and hopefully it will behave. Hey, there we go. Okay, so it was just a bug I had before, but it seems to be working now. So that's good. So now, let's go get a skin on this thing and get it armed up. Might actually go with a... actually, no. I'll stick with the East German theme for today. I've got some really good MiG-21 skins, though. Like, really good. So I like to give them all a little bit of use.
Request rearming.
Copy.
Whoops, that was the wrong button. So, I just need to recenter my track IR. Get rid of that because I don't need it. Right.
Rearming complete.
I'm just going to go ahead and set my RSBN to Sochi, since that's generally where I'm going to be hanging around, I think. I might, like, I can always change it in flights, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to set it to Sochi for now. Okay, I'll do the same with the arcs, that's zone 3-1 and channel 1. Then we can turn all this shit on, turn the arc volume down. Nope, don't want the gun sight. Radar standby, IFF, and SBO. Put my panel lights on. So, some of these things, like on this panel and on these panels, I believe, should be backlit. Like, these should be backlit, but a lot of these text tabs should actually be luminous paint. So I hope that they're going to fix that at some point. I'll actually leave that off and just leave the instrumentation on. That should be backlit. Weather filter, align the KSI. Gun sight. My master switch on air-to-air, I'll leave that on radar guided and swap to pylon 4. So the pylon ordering goes 3, 1, 2, 4, or 3, 2, 1, 4, whatever. 2 and 1 are your inner pylons, 3 and 4 are your outer pylons. So I've got R3Rs on the outboards and R60Ms paired off on the inboards for this flight. Close the hood, pressurize. Okay, flaps are set for takeoff, put a bit of back trim on the stick, low altitude warning set, pitot heats on, power to everything that should be on is. All I've got left to do is cock the gun before I get into combat, and I'm already on the ATC frequency. Let me just cycle through these real quick to check which is which preset. Okay, so 0 is ATC, 1 is Air Common,
Overlord, Bra.
that's AI AWACS, and then this is human AWACS. Okay, so I'll just stay on 0 for now, and I can get rid of the little overlay for SRS. And where'd I spawn? Krasnodar. Yep, okay, so I'm going to need to do a ferry flight, I think, to get a bit closer to the action. Which is irritating, but whatever. probably actually check the airport layout too, so I know where I'm going. So I'm going to go left, and then left again, and we'll go for 27. Krasnodar Center traffic, Circus 14 taxis 27 for departure to the south, Krasnodar Center. Good old differential braking. So, go left here. Oh, something's on fire. Several somethings are on fire, that doesn't look very promising. And then I want to take this left as well. Not gonna really... Actually, I might put my nav lights on just so people can see me on the ground, but I'll turn them off when I'm in the flight. Holy shit. Well, something's had a bad day there. Surprisingly, the R60s are not interested in it, even though they're turned on. So they should be squealing at me right now because there's a great big fireball in front of me. You'd think that the heaters would find that very interesting. I think someone may have ballsed up a takeoff, that's what it looks like. That or the little searchlight truck at the end of the runway got hit. Well, maybe it was landing, I don't know. Something exploded, put it that way. Krasnodar Center, Circus 14, lining up and rolling 27 for departure south, Krasnodar Center. Okay, so just line myself up more or less on the center line. And go straight to burner. And fix up my tracker, because it's getting a little off. Came off the ground a little steep there, but didn't stall it, so it's all good. There's a lot of shit on fire down there. Krasnodar Center, Circus 14 clear all runways departing to the south. Checking out Krasnodar Center. Last call. And I am going to actually need the AWACS here.
6-1, Overlord, Bra, 118 for 160 at 25,000, flanking.
Especially since nobody is on GCI at the moment.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra, 116 for 220 at 15,000, cold. Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra.
Overlord, Colt 6-1. Request bogey dope.
Colt 6-1, Overlord,
what?
clean.
Bullshit. Okay, turn my lights off. Cut this climb angle a little because I'm bleeding a little too much speed for comfort here. Really try and hold it about there.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra, 113 for 220 at 15,000.
It's a hell of a long way away. So I think what I'll do is I'll kind of head towards Sochi or Gudauta or Sukhumi, one of those. and land and refuel, and then I should be able to jump straight into combat once I'm down that way. So I'm actually going to... I'll leave my radar on, actually. I shouldn't be in the air long enough to worry about it overheating while it's in standby.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 110 for 160 at 25,000, flanking. Colt 6-1, Overlord, pop-up group 133 for 210 at...
Let's quickly go ATC. Shit, can't call any of them, I'm too far away.
For 160 at 9,000, cold.
Let's check the map. So I'm up here. I'm gonna head about 137-ish. About 20,000 feet right now. Or what's that? 6 kilometers? Yeah, 6 kilometers. So yeah, close enough to 20,000 feet. Still climbing steadily. Don't think I'm conning yet. The weather's actually quite high today.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 089 for 120 at 35,000, flanking.
089 for 120.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, pop-up group 099 for 80 at 4,000, cold.
Ah, okay, so the action's over there. Well, in that case,
Colt
I might go
6-1,
for that,
Overlord, Bra
and then fly out of
105
my
for
cop,
160
maybe?
at 25,000, cold.
That seems to be the go.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 105 for 160 at 25,000, cold. Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra.
Overlord, Colt 6-1. Request bogey dope.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 107 for 60 at 35,000, flanking.
At 35,000, so they are above me. Try and get above the weather. I am best off being under them in the MiG-21 because of the way the radar is arranged, but I would also like to actually be able to get visual on them, which I'm not going to get if they're on the other side of a cloud layer to me. So we'll just kind of punch up through these, so I've got a clearer view, and then continue on.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 125 for 110.
A little steep in the climb, I'm
30,000,
losing a bit of
flanking.
speed, so I'll just gently nudge the nose down a bit.
Colt
And a little more.
6-1, Overlord, Bra 098 450 at 35,000 knots.
Trying to fly this thing off the trimmer. That's close enough. Oh, not quite. There we go. think I will put the burner on just briefly to get some airspeed back. And to burn off the last of that belly tank, so I can get rid of it.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 123, 490 at 25,000 knots. Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 079, 480 at 24,000 flanking.
There we go.
Colt 6-1, Overlord, Bra 104, 150 at 25,000 cold.
Oh, okay, well then, thanks DCS. Connection timed out. Well, it's 10:30 here, and I do need to be up early tomorrow for that Vietnam mission. So if you guys are around in, let me do some maths here, in about 8 hours time, well, 7.5 hours time I think it will be, I will be streaming a Vietnam mission in Armour 3 with the 345th, so it should be a good time. So if you're up and about and able to jump on Twitch, I'm not going to say you have to watch, totally up to you of course, but I think you guys might enjoy it. The missions are certainly fun to play, so I can only imagine they're probably fun to watch as well. Anyway, thanks for hanging around, and I'll probably be streaming every second day for the next week or two, I'd imagine. But, you know, subject to change. Basically, I stream when I feel like it and when I'm not busy. So I will hopefully catch you on the next one. I'll just see if anyone's on to send you over to. Probably not at this hour, I would imagine. But let's see. Nope. Doesn't look like anyone's on. Anyway, so I'll just cut it there, and the auto host will probably pick up anyway.